himself a crossover.
Oh, killer crossover.
Just crossover.
It just crossed him over nastily. Another victim to the crossovers. Cross him up and sit him down.
The crossover is brought to you by
Jesus.
How was that? I talk normally.
I had it set up for Gary. I'm sorry.
Oh. That's not your fault. It was just loud.
I always love the crossover, and it starts with everybody laughing at me.
Well,
It's not Giancarlo's fault.
Exactly.
Crossover is powered by Everlevel Concrete Repair in Omaha at everlevelconcrete.com.
there you go. There you
I'm
go.
Matt McMaster.
You could-
That's Connor
You could
Happer.
probably still bring them down a hair.
I'm working on it.
You're going for it because Gary likes to move around, so he's kind of out here sometimes, stuff like that. But
Could you do a radio show where you were not where
I didn't
you were
have
doing
a
doing a radio show, but it's like you're giving a presentation where you walk around?
That was like me cutting my promo at the Lincoln Lancaster Fair.
Yeah.
Like, what if we had wireless capability and we just walked around the studio?
Oh, you were like Ray Lewis at the Hall of Fame? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah,
That'd be so weird.
Just milling about.
Yeah.
it would be quite odd. It wouldn't probably sound much like a talk show. It would probably sound a little bit more preachy.
Isn't that how
You
Joel
know,
Osteen does?
Right,
Anthony
Joel
Robbins.
Osteen?
Right, preachy. Yeah, it would be like that. Like Matt Rule walking around whatever building he's walking around on any given day.
So we're doing. We can talk about these on the.
I think that is encouraged. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm in a dilemma here. Okay. Because we've been given sunglasses very nicely.
By
By
Oakley.
who?
By Oakley.
Yes.
They're incredible sunglasses. Man, the polarization here on my eyes is quite incredible.
You should
I
buy a
feel like
pair.
You should. Especially I know that these glasses will be great for fishermen. I'll know that I'll be able to see the water and whatnot. And so, which is why I picked the polarized lenses.
I do. Well, hold on.
I think they're all polarized. But
Polarized lenses are really good for fishing because you can see a little bit deeper into the water. And if you're going, especially if you're doing top water fishing, or if you're rock fishing or shallow fishing, you can actually see a little bit deeper in and you can look, oh, hey, there's a bass right there. I'm going to put that right there as opposed to non-polarized.
I do love the polarized lenses. I go outside and I look at the grass and the grass becomes greener. It's nice. It's very, very, it's dead serious.
So
You could look straight at the sun if you wanted to, although it's not encouraged.
I like
to try.
I like the
Somehow.
glasses that I have on right now. I love these things. And I think you two saw the other pair that I could pick from, which is supposed to go to John Bishop. Okay. And I know that I could wear the other pair of sunglasses. Okay. And be fine. But I don't know if this really fits John Bishop's style.
I did think of that at a certain point yesterday afternoon. When
I was like,
tasked with handing the rest of these out.
I just don't really know if I think John would wear the ones that I have picked, but I don't think John would pick the leftover.
Hey, you're here, man. Do
And
you?
I just feel like
He's in Knoxville at the races.
Yeah, getting $4 beers.
You ever been to Knoxville, Iowa?
No, I did drive by the big speedway in Newton over the weekend as the race was going on. Thing was jacked full.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
would he wear these? He would.
Yes, he will.
You think
he
he'd
has
wear
a pair
these?
like those?
Yeah,
Yes. He likes those.
He has the ones.
Does he
just
like
that
these?
from
Okay.
last year.
Yeah,
Well, all right,
they
these are the
look
ones
like
that he's
they look
getting.
like his favorite NASCAR driver would wear those. So he
That's
will
Kyle
wear-
Larson? Denny
No, that
Hamlin?
is not his
I don't know who his guy is.
number 3.
Dale.
But who
Yes.
does he root for now? Austin Dillon? He's not. I mean, does he have a new one?
I'm not sure, but he did see Kyle Larson win last night at Knoxville.
He was racing.
Where is Knoxville?
Yes.
Oh wow.
It is. You got to go to the southeast
Knoxville, Iowa.
part of Iowa.
Southeast Iowa.
It's not very far. It's
Oh,
about
no.
45
Oh.
minutes from Des Moines.
Yeah, it's just southeast of Des Moines.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. No, it's not like in the southeast corner.
Gotcha.
But yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I can make it from Des Moines to Knoxville.
A 3-hour trip, maybe
No.
2:30.
Not that long.
2:30.
Oh,
So
from
I'm
here?
just guessing. Yeah. Yeah.
From here.
Yeah, yeah,
Yes.
What races are these?
This is the famous Knoxville races, the Nationals, Knoxville Nationals.
Oh, okay.
Is it
Sprint car.
Sprint car.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's one of the greatest dirt tracks in America.
We're getting a lot of stuff. Josh, this is for you about how our app
I'm
is.
aware.
Okay.
I was told by our engineer that there is no problem.
Gotcha.
Well, I would say that there were about 43 listeners between 6 and 10 that would probably disagree with our engineer.
Yeah, we got a lot of emails and calls, but hey, the YouTube numbers were boosted, baby.
Hello.
Hey, are we going through a phase of the salted nut roll? Or
this is not a phase.
Or was it?
This is not a phase.
Or
was it?
Or
I got your
hold on.
picture.
We may have stopped at the same convenience store because
This is a gift from my dear friend Josh.
maybe Josh and I then.
It's possible. He's a
Did you
Casey's
happen to
guy.
go to a Casey's or I guess it's a Casey's now. It used to be a
Mega
Buc-ee's.
It was a High-V gas. Huge display.
That's where I was yesterday on Center, 90th and Center.
This one was on Cass, but yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So those.
Just play along, Josh.
So right now, this is what they have. So they've got the cookies. They got the freshly baked cookies that they put in the basket right at checkout. But I noticed that the salted nut roll had made its way up where it was right there, and it's like 2 for $2.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah, they don't really, because I doubt people buy these.
They
but
make them at home
but they're
now.
awesome. They don't put them by like the candy. They put them by like the gum.
Yes.
You know,
They do. No, you're
They
right.
do. Why do they do that?
I don't know. Maybe just trying
Because
to,
I think the salted
get
nut
'em-
roll doesn't fit with the Snickers.
maybe they're trying to get
Or
them
the
a better
Butterfinger.
spot.
Well, when put up against those things, is anyone going to pick a salted?
I
nut?
would pick.
Exactly.
I would pick a salt nut.
Exactly.
I love immediately when he walked in. I told him that was an incredible piece. I only ever see though the salt nut rolls in the vending machines. I feel like in every vending machine it's there.
We used to have them in this company's vending machine. Do we still?
I went to go and look to see if we did, but somebody was filling up the other vending machines, and I didn't want to like push the door back
Sure,
on them
sure.
and be like, "Hey, I
You
need
should have
a
said,
$2."
"Hey, I'll give you 50 cents." You know, pop me one of
In
those.
pennies.
Yeah.
I give you pennies.
Yeah, because I usually pay in pennies, but I can't when the door is closed. So can I give you 50 now?
So did you guys know this? And we don't have a lot of power over these decisions. So Guy, a son of an acquaintance of mine, was doing our vending machine like 2 times ago. And I said, "Hey, how's it going?" And he was a former local athlete. So we talked a little ball. And then I go, "Man, does this ever get like, how is your job exciting? Because you're doing the same thing over and over." And he goes, "You know what? You guys should take advantage of, you can tell us what you want in your vending machine."
Wow, that's great.
He said,
Whoa.
we give you a list of products that we have access to, and then you choose what goes in your vending machine.
Take out all the gum.
Yeah, I need this
Yeah,
Yeah, the
form.
gum is just
Actually,
been displaced.
leave one for the juicy fruit.
Yes.
Leave one for the juicy fruit.
Can we get a spearmint one
the
too? The
rest of them,
Wrigley
you
spearmint.
could turn them all into purple Doritos.
See, I think the gum has taken a step back in this world.
It has. It has.
I think, you're talking about the salted nut roll is at a good place at the Hy-Vee convenience. I noticed the Big League Chew. Like I go to Hy-Vee and Big League Chew now has a prominent spot.
Very popular now.
Really, Big
need-
League Chew is back.
We need a.
Oh, there are all kinds of different flavors.
Can we get a Baby Ruth in the? Is that an option? I need Baby Ruths.
It's a candy bar.
I never see Baby Ruths. I feel like Baby Ruths have fallen off, and I feel like I'm the oldest man alive.
That's a whole
loves
question.
to-
Is
yeah.
Baby Ruth falling
That
off?
and like I might be the youngest person to love almond joys. You know, sometimes you feel like a nut, sometimes you don't. Like I do. I love that.
Yeah. Sometimes-
Almond joy is great. It's got almonds. That's
Is
the
that how
song.
the song goes?
That's part of the song.
All right. Poll question: is Baby Ruth falling off right now? at
I just
Happer
don't
Show?
feel like it is what it used to be.
Seems to
You
be a
know?
little bit. We have to.
Isn't it kind of like a?
Probably a little more popular back in the day. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a Stanley Tucci of candy
Oh,
bars.
you think Stanley Tucci's falling off?
I just don't think Stanley Tucci gets the appreciation that.
You haven't been to a
that-
Williams Sonoma lately. let me
No.
tell ya. He's got his own cookware.
Well, see, I'm
Dude,
not.
I do love Stanley
I'm not.
Tucci.
That I
He's
think
got a
that is the
great dome,
definition
man.
of falling off. Stanley Tucci now is more known for kitchenware than he is for his movies. I feel like you just answered my question.
What's your favorite Stanley Tucci role?
See, The Hunger Games is great. When he plays the guy who's
Josh
standing
knows
in
what
front.
mine is.
I really do think he's awesome in Spotlight, even though he's kind of more of a supporting role in that, where he's the lawyer.
But that's
that
usually what he
reveals-
is.
Yes, that's true.
Yeah.
I thought in the Conclave, Great in the Conclave.
Oh, I never saw that.
Mm-hmm.
He was one of the ones who was telling the guy, like the main character, like this is war. I think those are my 3 favorite Stanley Tucci performances.
Josh,
Probably the only 3 I can come up with at the top of my head.
Josh knows what mine is.
It's got to be
Devil Wears Prada.
That's a good one, but no.
You know they're making a Devil Wears Prada sequel.
Hey,
It's a very Connor Happer movie, Josh.
Hey,
and
Gary.
Only Connor
they're
Happer
making
movie.
sequels to everything, man.
Well, they should start making superhero movies because they're done.
Michael Bay's getting a new Transformers movie, so let's all
they're
hip hip hooray for that.
Fantastic Four not doing very well at the box office.
Well,
Superhero movies, they're fading.
that's not true.
What is it, Connor?
Stanley Tucci was the airport boss in the terminal.
There. Okay. Yeah.
He was just trying to keep Victor Navorsky from going to America. I go New York.
I'm glad you.
Oh,
I'm glad you.
yes.
Hey, I'm glad you periodically will bring up one of your favorite movies because that movie should get more run, and you never see it replayed.
Well,
No, you don't.
that movie,
Catherine Zeta-Jones?
I've watched that movie
good
through
cast.
YouTube Shorts.
Really?
That's like a very big YouTube short.
That
like,
makes sense.
Instagram move. Like you see all the clips.
That actually
where,
makes sense.
Like I know, like he goes ahead and he's having the carts, right? And he's pushing the carts, get the quarters, get the Burger King. Like I know that scene very well. I've seen that scene over and over.
Do you have an appointment?
He makes $19 an hour. That's more than what I make.
Exactly. This is for goat.
I feel like I'm forgetting a lot of. I love Stanley
Ooh.
Tucci.
He knows all the rules of the airport. Guy tries to come in, tries to bring his medicine through. It's not documented, all that stuff. He helps him out, and he says, "It is for goat. It is for
Ooh.
goat.
Ooh.
It is."
By the way, Nick Graham,
Nebraska just reiterated that we're a volleyball school.
Yeah,
They did.
they also reiterated they don't know when they're not doing the stadium.
So John Cook Arena.
I mean, seriously.
That's what
I will read the quote.
Yeah. Go, why
But
don't
that's
you do
the
that?
best way to sum it up.
Yeah.
So John Cook Arena, after this winter sports are over, going to expand to 10,200.
Wow.
Good Lord.
Okay. But Memorial Stadium will not be expanding. Status quo. We're not going to take anything to the Board of Regents, and I don't know when we will, but the time is not now.
Time
The
is most
financial
certainly not
crisis
now.
that is afoot on the campus in Lincoln and system-wide.
Yeah. I don't know when the time might be. Seems like maybe never. Or
Well,
I mean, they're gonna have to do something
Well-
at some point because that thing's gonna fall over.
I mean,
was gonna say.
I went and said goodbye back in 2024 to the South Stadium seats
I
that
got-
I have.
Next time
I was like-
that we see a game here, this whole structure will be a
Yes.
dirt pile. And turns out it will. You cannot kill South Stadium.
I remember doing the West Side. Like, you don't realize how large the South Stadium is until you're up close and it's empty.
Yeah.
So the West Side Elkhorn South Class A final. Yeah, we were doing the game together.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, the booth,
Mm.
we were way down.
Yeah.
Weren't we in the Husker booth?
Way
down.
at the end, yeah.
So you take a picture of it and you're like, that is mammoth. And then it's just going to be gone.
But it will not
And
be gone.
now it's not going to be gone.
You can't kill South Stadium.
I don't get my Husker Vision. It's like the
Now,
state of Nebraska.
All the dreams. You don't get your condos, your hotels, your
Your
whatever.
Husker district.
No,
our parking garages.
nope.
We don't
Like,
get Husker City next door.
We are in a
See,
financial crisis, folks.
if you would just commit,
In this economy?
if you would just commit
Especially this-
over by Haymarket Park or on the Innovation Campus, that's where we're building the stadium. We'll play in Memorial Stadium until the new one opens.
Oh, so you're going all the way in on new stadium?
See,
I think that would have been an easier thing to do.
well, when you get up to $1
Because
billion,
let's be honest, it's 100 years old.
But the logistical things become a bigger issue at that point. Where do you play?
Well, no, let's say
You build
so,
it
no,
separately,
so
and
you build it separately and you finish in Memorial Stadium. So you transition.
Yeah,
Now people would lose their mind that the new football stadium is not where the old one was, but you could sell that back to the university.
Yeah.
And you're playing where there's probably more opportunities to tailgate and it's a larger area. And you've got all the amenities of a 75,000 seat stadium.
What do you, Connor? What do you
people
think?
will get it. People would have gotten over it, but I don't think we're going there.
What
But
do
you
you-
can't like say, hey, we're going to play in the same spot, tear it down. Hey, for 2 or maybe 3 years, y'all got to drive to Kansas City.
Right, that would be bad.
What do you think? If we put a poll question out there, because we talked about this on the show, we put a poll question out there. Would you rather do the $1 billion renovation or a $2 billion new stadium? What would you rather have happen for?
Would it
Nebraska
really be
football?
$2 billion to make
I
a new
mean,
stadium?
I'm just throwing a number out there, but it'd be
Because it would be
up there.
It'd be a smaller capacity. You wouldn't have to
mean-
worry about create. I mean, a lot of the money that they would have had to spend to redo, the plan that they were going to redo with the current existing stadium would have been basically just updating the guts of it.
Josh, can you please look up how much does the Buffalo Bills new stadium cost?
All right.
Yeah.
Because that'll give us a decent benchmark. Because that's a brand new stadium. That's state of the art. That is like, it's got incredible
2.1.
technology. 2.1
billion.
Yes.
That's a lot of dollars.
And I'd probably guess that when the Bears build a new stadium, it'll be around the same price tag. So I would say probably $2 billion to build a new.
So let's just say, and Nebraska's idea would be larger on the scale of the Huntington Bank Stadium. In dollars in 2024, it would have been $445 million to build Huntington Bank, but they built it beginning in 2006 at $303 million.
What's that seat? 65?
50.
Okay.
So you're adding 25,000 more seats.
I think Nebraska would probably shoot for about 65 or 70 in capacity.
Yeah,
somewhere in that range.
I mean, that's when they were doing when Trev came out and he announced the new stadium plan, right? There was the pushback of like, oh, you're cutting down the capacity by something like the journalists were trying to find out, oh, is it going to be 75,000? Is it going to be 80,000 or whatever? And Trev was like, yeah, around that range. And somebody kind of gave, I'm not going to say who, but gave Trev like a look, like really, like you're going to go down to 75, like 80. And Trev was like, dude, that's what we're scanning anyway. Like when we scan the tickets, we're pretty consistently scanning 75,000.
Yeah, I don't understand people who have a problem with that.
I don't have. I mean, I think immediately the knee jerk is like, oh my God, you're lowering the stadium capacity.
Yeah,
so it's going to be more expensive to go
because people have this weird obsession with saying that they put 90,000 in the stadium when they never do.
They never do.
Yeah.
They never do.
They're like, oh, well, 90,000.
Oh, you guys work for the World Herald?
No, well, I mean, it's a fact. And it's not only just a fact that's publicized by people who get the information, but it's a fact that's like known by the athletic department.
There's something about like a nice new, like I'm curious to see this Buffalo thing, what people think about it in the first couple years, because I don't know, there's just something about Nebraska where it's a little like you got to rough it a little bit. It's a day. You're probably, if you're not from Omaha, Lincoln, you're probably driving like a long way to get to the stadium. It's cold. It's windy. I mean, let's be honest. Going to a football game is sort of miserable.
It is.
So
it's expensive.
That fits what Memorial Stadium is.
But that I know what you're saying, and I get that sentiment. And there are a lot of people who would agree with you. But man, life on the other side can be a lot better.
Oh, it's great.
Like, it can be a lot better.
Just think if you which is their new name is Populous, but based out of Kansas City.
Yeah. Just
think in your Lego set at home, if you got the ability to design a new Memorial Stadium, how cool that would be. I mean, look at what in a short amount of time and really 3/4 of the stadium, what they've done in Lawrence, how cool that looks. Just think a whole brand new start from scratch Memorial Stadium.
I'm telling you, if they put $2 billion into a new stadium, you would walk in and you would be like, yeah, it sucks that we kind of tore down tradition, but man, the AC in here is awesome. And the concourses are great. And it looks so pretty. And there's so many amenities that we didn't have before.
I like the existing or now non-existing, it seems, plan. I guess if they ever have it for a rainy day.
Yeah, I think it's fine. I am not on the like I'm playing devil's advocate in a way of like, here's the argument for a new stadium. I'm not necessarily like parading around being like, you have to do it. You're a dummy if you don't.
It's not only like a logistics question and a money question, but it's also a culture question and stuff like that too. So Sam writes in, he says, the Packers kind of face this question. How do you maximize revenue at the stadium your fans love and it's part of your identity? They found a way to make it work by basically tearing down everything about the stadium except the actual seating bowl. Feel like that's the way to go.
Wrigley did the same thing.
So they've added on at Lambeau, and it doesn't take away from the aesthetics.
Yeah,
so I do give them credit there.
It's nice, and it still has that heart, that soul to it.
No, I think that the plan that the current
there's a soul in Memorial Stadium.
No,
is there a soul in Kauffman Stadium?
No, I don't care about that. You could build a new one there.
And once you get
quickly you changed.
I like the downtown. It's sitting out in the middle of nowhere. Yeah.
Once you hit the,
there's nothing wrong with the K,
except for it's in the middle of nowhere.
Okay.
Yeah,
but that's a pretty big, Gary. That's a pretty big problem.
What if I want to, drop by a bar before I go to the game?
Go to Independence. There's some nice.
Are you telling me to
neighborhood
drive
bars
drunk?
in Independence?
Gary Sharp here for driving intoxicated. Very sad. You hate to see it. It's just, put some stuff around it.
No, you're right.
So you would like the K as it is, just to be dropped in an area that's got like Royal City.
That'd be fine.
Okay.
It's old too. I mean,
now, did your opinion changed after you toured the Braves Stadium when you were on vacation a couple years ago?
That seriously was a game changer. I mean, that thing is it's a great ballpark, obviously, but the town that they built around it was really good. I mean, it's a lot of like office space and stuff like that, but there's bars and places to shop, and it like you go there if you go to a Braves game, and if it's a 7:00 game, you want to show up at like 2.
Yeah.
And just and spend money all day long.
Well, Wrigley's turned into the same thing.
Yeah.
Wrigley is the exact same way, where it's not just Murphy's and the Cubby Bear and a couple of other bars.
Yeah,
like
but they found it. They did it too. They found a way to keep its soul.
They also when Trev was like, "Oh, we visited Wrigley when we were coming up with this plan," I was like, "That makes the most sense in the world."
Yeah,
because it's the same man. The conversations that we're having right now about tearing down Memorial Stadium, it'd be easier to put in a new area, you make it nicer, whatever. They had the same conversations 15 years ago back in 2010. And then it turned 100 and it was like, all right, we're too far gone. Like we have to, we can't tear this down now. It's so historic that it's got to 100. We're just going to put up new video boards. We're going to put up new ribbon boards. We're going to make all these clubs.
Yeah. And there's not we're not going to move to the burbs. No. It's the Cubs.
It's the Cubs.
And the Cubs it's your friendly neighborhood ball team.
And look, I can't push back at all to the people who say, yeah, the Memorial Stadium belongs in 10th and Vine and it should never move and it should never go anywhere. That's just what sport.
It's the same. I mean, you come in, you could see it from miles away. It's that in the Capitol building.
I mean, is it necessarily logical? You can make the argument, no, but not everything in sports is logical, and I think that's kind of the beauty of it sometimes.
Sam writes in. He says, "I know." Yeah, no, you did fine. I just didn't have a response to it. I was trying to think of one. He says, "I know we have the Haymarket, but we need Huskerville around the stadium with bars for each era, including Lincoln's most problematic bar, the Frost era, that serves stiff drinks for people who want to get drunk quick."
I'm a little late. I got time for one.
But a nice one.
A good pour. I'm going to be at the Golden Tee machine.
I'll be doing the opposite today.
I'm not a huge, I that place gets too packed and you can't move around.
Which one?
That place.
Yeah. I went there after a basketball game last year and I could not move.
Yeah.
I could not move.
It was the first place I ever ate in Lincoln when I got to campus. And they didn't have anything. We're like,
can we serve food there?
Yeah, they serve food. We sat down.
I don't think I've ever.
Was it like an event situation?
No. It was like I just moved into my dorm.
So it was just a normal
And my
time.
parents, it was like 2:00. Parents like, oh, let's find a place to eat. And it was like, oh,
they really serve food there?
They do.
I've only drank it
I didn't
at the
know
game.
that.
Here's
I
the
didn't know
thing.
that.
We sat down and we go, we'll order this. And they're like, we don't have that. They're like, okay, well then we'll get this. No, we don't have that either. And then we just got up and we went to Hopcat.
What are the Minnesota, Baylor, anybody else in college have a new stadium in the last 15 years that's just college only?
Great question.
Kansas, not really a new stadium, but it's kind of redone.
Are we counting Northwestern?
Yes.
Northwestern will be coming.
Yeah.
But Minnesota and Baylor are the two that have real college football only stadiums.
Let's see. Built.
I can't think of.
Does UNLV, where do they play?
Well, they moved from, they didn't build the stadium, they went to Allegiant.
San Diego State.
Okay, yeah.
UAB got a new stadium in 2021. And then UNLV, if you count them. Let's see. Colorado State.
Oh,
their stadium is relatively new within the last decade. Yes, there's Northwestern.
They got in the end zone. They got a Fat Tire beer garden right in the end zone.
Nice.
Really?
That's what I'm talking about. Hawaii. Hawaii had to build a little on-campus, place after the what do they call it? The Hula Bowl or whatever that stadium.
But what is Waco in Minnesota? About 45 to 50K, right? So no mammoth stadiums.
Baylor is 45,000, and remember they built like a like an 8,000 seat basketball arena
Yeah.
too. It's fit them nice and
But
tight
they're
in there.
like if you ever went to the old stadium in Waco, it was in a neighborhood away from campus, away from downtown.
Odd.
There was nothing to it. The new stadium, which is right there on the Brazos, looks pretty cool.
Yeah, it does. It does. It's actually a really good like mold for how teams should probably do it, because that's one of the only power conference teams that's on here. I guess Northwestern's will be the next one.
Yeah.
And Minnesota didn't have to tear anything down because they were already playing in the Metrodome. They
Right.
just built it on campus in the
Right.
space they had.
And that place is nice.
I think-
I love that
I
stadium.
think NU is what, 45,000?
Northwestern's new
Yeah,
one. I have
think
no
it's like
idea.
I think it's 42.
Yeah. It'll be
So there'll be
great.
38,000 Nebraska fans there when they play there in 27.
Yep.
Yeah, probably. I mean, hey, did you see that they scheduled Holy Cross for the 2027 schedule? Oh my God, what a non-con matchup
So when does that open?
next season.
Next
So
year.
they are.
So this is the last year at the lacrosse field.
Yeah, they're doing incredible work right now. I was over there back in May, and they were already like you could see the upper bowl is already being built. The stairs in the upper bowl was being built. You could tell where the scoreboard was going to be. Like there were some big gaps into where they were going to put it. And then since then, I haven't seen it since. I should have drove over there when I was back there last week. But they're almost like they're cooking right now.
There's only been a handful of new stadiums
Yeah.
in the last like 10 years, basically.
Is that a
And-
tradition thing? Probably.
Yeah, I mean, you don't see any going up in the, like I said, it's football.
You just add
right?
to it. Like
Yeah.
Penn State, they're not going to tear down.
Happy Valley.
Yeah, they're not going to tear down that
LSU,
stadium.
I mean,
Yeah. Oh God. no.
but
but
they'll get rid of the press box and then they'll build up and above it.
also in the power conferences, we're talking about mostly college towns. So the
Yeah.
question rises of where do you put it?
Yeah.
What do you
Sure.
what do you do?
Sure. You can't just great point, because the Bears can just pack up and go 45 minutes north, and it's not really going to matter. Where you can't do that.
No.
Hey, what's your cellular provider?
Verizon.
You just got really lucky. You're going to be very happy.
What?
They just put in a $20 million investment to enhance the cell coverage inside of Memorial Stadium.
Oh, whoa. Okay. Now we're talking. That's good, because I don't get nothing in there.
They will not update the Wi-Fi until the stadium is remodeled.
Wait, really?
Oh, so now you're really rooting for it to get done.
No promise that everyone will be able to stream every game via the upgraded cell service. Stadium-wide Wi-Fi will be addressed in the future renovation project. Jeez. Any word on Wi-Fi at Pinnacle Bank Arena? No? Okay.
Real quick.
That's a brand new building.
Before we end the crossover, partner, Gary,
What?
are you going to download Instagram today? By
No.
any chance? I create an account.
No.
What's going on IG?
I'm doing my fantasy football punishment today.
Send us videos.
Oh yeah.
It'll be live streamed. If you just go ahead and download Instagram, and follow me. You can watch me suffer.
We'll look forward to your live tweets.
I look forward to the tweets too, and the videos that you'll send us. Afterwards.
I have to live tweet it and update it for the people who are in my league or at work.
There you go.
So
We look forward to them.
starting at 2:00.
We'll be breaking in live during the Connor Happer show.
I won't. I'm
Wait a minute,
starting
you'll
at
be-
2.
You'll be done
The
by
Connor
then.
Happer show
I see
will
what
be
you're
done.
doing.
All right,
The
after
strategy
2.
is 7 hot dogs and 12 beers.
All right, you got to have a plan, I guess.
Yeah.
We'll see how that plan goes. Everybody's got a plan until they get punched in the mouth.
You don't plan your hunt. You hunt your plan.
Exactly. Well, good luck to
Thank
both of you watching and doing.
He ain't watching.
I'll give you the thumbnails
There you go. All right.
if we have to go rescue him.
That's the crossover powered by Everlevel Concrete Repair in Omaha at everlevelconcrete.com. Friday, we'll start things off next.
That's the crossover. The Connor Happer Show is next on 1620 The Zone. It's the Connor Happer Show. Are we sure we want to do this?
Could you, make an announcement that we're ready?
It's the Connor Happer Show on 1620, The Zone.
All right, welcome in, everybody. Happy Friday. It's the Connor Happer Show. You're on 1620 The Zone and on 1620thezone.com. Connor Happer and Josh Odson with you. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Much to cover today as we trudge along here on this Friday with our many, many esteemed guests. Brian Munson will join us at the top of the hour. Brian Christopherson coming up at 11:30. Steve Sipple at 1. And the Detroit Free Press covers Michigan State. And as I said yesterday, I got a little Michigan State tingle.
You do. You're all about the tingle.
I'm curious. I got some questions. So Chris will join us at 12:30 today. That's the lineup powered by the Rooferees at John Higgins Weather Guard. We'd like to hear from you all today on the show. 402-951-1620 on the Prairie Flower Casino Zone hotline. Feel free to call or text that number anytime throughout the show. Tweet at Happer Show at Connor Happer on the JTech Construction Zone Twitter feed. Email Connor or Josh O at 1620thezone.com on the Equitable Bank Zone inbox. And we say good morning to the YouTube streamers today. That's where Platcat is, and he's saying 6 more days. Hashtag Wolf Watch, as in Scott Wolf, our USC guest, next Thursday.
Fully confirmed.
And we are less than 3 weeks away from the first game. We are inside. I got a message last night. When are the Chunkies?
Great question. Love where your head's at.
They will be next week. I got to map it out a little bit, but I'm leaning toward Tuesday. So wear your best. Suit up, Josh.
Get your tuxedo t-shirts on.
It is a yearly tradition where we award fake awards to parts of Nebraska's schedule. Also, we understand that we're undergoing a little bit of difficulty with our audio stream at the moment. Our best minds are on it. We are actually, you know what? Let's say we are aware of the issue. We are aware of the issue.
Let's do that. I like that.
So there are other ways that you can listen to the show. And hell, there's even a way you can watch the show. Head to YouTube, 1620 Zone TV, or zonetv.live, 1620thezone.com as our stream up right there. Our video stream as well, where you could find the audio. Or, of course, there's good old-fashioned AM radio, and hopefully we'll get that addressed. I don't know what's going on with our video stream right now.
New camera, still learning some things.
So you can keep the audio, and pull the stream out, and pull the video part out.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do, and
so it doesn't work when you just. On the YouTube here shortly. Sound out. Okay. All right. Well, there's a card in there. I'll mess with it during the break. Plenty to come, including, yes, we still have to get to that spreadsheet about turnovers.
It's sitting there all week.
I know, it's great. So we got it sitting there for us on Friday, which is nice. We will, of course, talk about another leftover topic from yesterday, which is the children are killing Vegas. How dare they?
Yeah, how dare they?
Generations upon generations have been saddled with the responsibility of keeping Vegas alive.
Yeah, this is a generational thing.
The millennial generation got blamed for killing Vegas. Vegas stayed alive. The youths are now getting blamed for killing Vegas. We'll see if Vegas survives.
Boomers tried to make it a family place, and Connor, you and me, our grandparents said, "No, what are you doing, you idiots?"
Don't you know why it's called Sin City?
Yeah.
Last night in the NFL, Ty Robinson got a sack.
Hello.
And many people broke limbs.
Oh no.
Have you seen this? Have you heard about this?
I guess I haven't.
Anthony Richardson, your finger's not supposed to go that way.
Oh,
Um,
he's kind of important.
another guy for the Ravens, your leg, not supposed to go that way.
Leg?
Yeah, leg. Not supposed to go that way.
Oh,
Yeah. Tricky in the NFL. We will dive into an ESPN article that calls Nebraska, USC, and Wisconsin ticking clocks. Whoa. Never really heard it presented that way. We are hearing from Troy Dannen at the moment, and we'll get the notes on that right when we return from break. Picking things in college football. And I saw a trailer last night, Josh, for a new show in the Office cinematic universe,
OCU,
which will debut in a few weeks. It's called The Paper.
Yeah.
Which apparently features a bunch of people who don't know what they're doing, who all of a sudden work at a newspaper for some reason. And we'll see what that's like. Yes, there is at least one character from The Office that is in this show. And yes, it's probably the one that you would guess. It's probably
Jim.
somebody it's probably somebody down the billing a little bit.
Michael.
No, he didn't even finish The Office. Oscar.
Yeah.
They called Oscar and they said, we just need a little bit of continuity. We need to put you in the trailer and then you know, give us like 4 episodes and we'll get you out of there. And he was like, you bet.
Sure, why not?
I got you.
This will up my cameo fee. Thank you.
Yeah, maybe he'll go after that and he'll start doing a podcast and things of that nature. All right, so that is the setup for today's show. We are pleased that you all are with us. We'll work on getting those streams right to you. Yeah, Platcat writes in, Kevin has no time. He's too busy with Cameo and doing podcasts about the time when he was on The Office. Did you know that all of the characters, all the people who played the characters in The Office were in a fantasy football league? And they really did fantasy football while sitting on the set of The Office. And then
goodness.
when they would go to record an episode that was in the actual office proper, that they would sit there and they would have them work for 15 minutes or something like that before they started shooting, just to get themselves in the mindset of people who worked in an office. Have you heard that before?
Only 1,000 times.
Yeah. All right. Off and running here on a Friday. Like I said, we'll get some notes on what Troy Dannen brought to the table. Wide ranging. We'll get to that after the break on 1620 The Zone.
I'm a fabulous driver.
The Connor Happer Show
I'm one of the best friends you could ever have in your life.
on 1620 The Zone.
I hate you.
The world never stops spinning. Hungry moments come every second. How you satisfy them? With giant slices and specialty fries. Lighthouse Pizza and Fries lights up your cravings. Visit them at 74th and Pacific or online at lhpizza.com.
Let's get back to the Connor Happer Show on 1620 The Zone.
Welcome back. Happy Friday. Brian Munson will join us here in just a little bit. Let us know if you can hear us on the stream. I think I found the right button, but I'm no engineer. So we'll just give me a thumbs up in the chat if you can hear me right now. Maybe that would help. All right. Troy Dannen speaking today on a variety of different issues. I mean, Ricky kind of spread these out throughout the show. Let's start with maybe one of the more topical topics, I suppose, here. Josh, I'm just going to cut this off. Troy Dannen says the organizers of the August 28th season opener in Kansas City expect to sell out the Nebraska-Cincinnati game at Arrowhead Stadium. The latest ticket update indicates that 66,000 tickets have been sold. 66,000 tickets have been sold. That's total at the moment.
Any of them by Cincinnati fans?
Apparently about 6,000.
Oh, okay.
Apparently about 6,000 Ohio zip codes so far. That's according to Michael Severe. With as much as a 10-1 edge, this is what Dannen said, in fans tied to the Huskers. So, yeah, what's capacity at Arrowhead again?
Oh, who's to know? These capacities change from year to year.
76,416. So we're looking at about, if it does indeed get full, which sounds like they're expecting it to, we're looking at about 68,000 or so Nebraska fans. Could you imagine what the Platte City QT is going to
They
look
don't
like?
know.
They have no idea.
Somebody asked us if we're going to, like, hey, you say you're going to call them. You're going to call them on air, right?
Yeah.
Yes, we are.
I have it on my calendar for the Monday of that week, Monday the 25th.
That's probably a good starting spot.
Now, I just hope, because, you don't know how businesses operate in their structures anymore. Like, is there an actual line that I could call where I could directly contact the particular Platte City QT?
Yeah.
Or are they just going to,
I hadn't thought of that.
It's going to take me to corporate and then like patch me in, or
you need
like
to know your store number. Dial it now.
Yeah. Like, I don't, I suppose I could look that information up before I call, but yeah, we're going to call. I don't know if it'll be live on the air, but you will hear that call on the radio. Yeah. I just want to let you know. I don't know if you know this yet. Maybe that's how I start the conversation. Like, hey, did you guys happen to know that there's a college football game at Arrowhead Stadium on Thursday? And they'll say, no, not really.
No.
But okay, that's good. Did you also happen to know that 48% of your business is done by travelers who are traveling between Omaha or Lincoln and Kansas City on a weekly basis? And they would say, I don't think that statistic is accurate, but okay, I'll go along with you here. And then I'll say, well, the college football game features Nebraska on that Thursday night. And they'll say, oh my God. I don't know how many people are driving back that night. I've heard from a lot of, obviously people are going to go to the Royals game the next day. It's Husker night. But get ready for a heavy, heavy influx of traffic at the Platte City QT coming up on Thursday or Friday evening on the week of that first game. Jesse writes in.
Hi, Jesse.
He says you should send QT a preliminary email telling them you're going to call them and make it a whole segment. Yeah, I mean, there will be tales about this. No doubt.
I don't want to scare them off with my green texts, so maybe Connor reaches out.
Yeah, I maybe we could affect real change, and like they would actually staff it more, or fill the roller grill, or refill the coffee machines, or some restock the seed counters, stuff like that. I don't know what exactly it's going to look like, but I hope that we're just preparing people. So that is. I mean, that's a significant update.
Order some extra wintergreen skull that week.
Nice call, Josh. More Zins for the people who are traveling back. That's for sure. Now, the big ticket item here with Dannen today, or at least the one that I was looking forward to the most. And by the way, I just heard from BC, who might be a little bit late.
Oh no, is everything okay?
Well, there's player availability, and I think the Dannen thing, I was going to text him last night. I don't know if we have a time for him. Let me go back to him. The big ticket item is the stadium. At least that's the thing that I was the most curious about. Where are we at? Because soon enough, if this plan was going to be enacted, you were going to have to bring remnants of a plan, some sort of a plan, to the Board of Regents for overview and money and all that stuff coming up here soon. I think there's a meeting next month or something like that. But that does not appear to be happening. The university is on a budget shortfall right now, and a lot of this is sort of like political in nature, not meaning like, you know, who's the president or Democrats versus Republicans. I'm talking about money and where money comes from and taxes and things of that nature. And so when you dive into that world, it becomes about the climate, right? What climate are we in? And Nebraska is doing all it can as an athletic department to generate revenue. It's in a good position, but obviously it would need some help in order to put together a $700, $800 million stadium renovation over a long period of time. And there's a lot of stuff that obviously goes into that. And Dannen said today it is, quote, status quo on where Memorial Stadium renovations are at the moment. He mentions, quote, now is not the time to take on a big financial project. So we got a text here on the text line at 402-951-1620. Jeff writes in.
Hi, Jeff.
He says, now at this point, the renovation is never happening. I do think you have to introduce that into the equation. It's funny. Mm-hmm. We talked about this a long time ago when it was first introduced by Trev, and I think it was met with a lot of skepticism. And people had to be sort of convinced that it's the right idea and it's the right thing. And Trev was kind of the face of the project, and he had some of the Trev knew where sort of the bodies were buried and all that stuff. He had some of the firsthand knowledge that he needed to have in order to understand how to work people and get sort of what he wanted out of this. But he was pretty adamant that this was the right thing and it was building for the future. That was a different time. There's a new athletic director. There's been a whole bunch of new things that have been introduced into the landscape of not only college athletics, but academia in general. And now this plan has been I don't want to say a cloud, because I don't think it's been that, but it's been a thing that has been hovering over for a long time. And in my opinion, the way the temperature was, people sort of started to, maybe there was a mild excitement about it. Can't wait to see what it's going to look like. But at least there was an understanding of, this is what it's going to look like. This is what you're going to have to deal with during this period of time. And you will have to accept these changes. And people learn to probably do that over a long period of time, that it was coming. And now it's on hold for the foreseeable future, in my opinion. I don't know when this gets readdressed. Nebraska has a plan, so at least they've done the legwork on this. There are some things with the stadium that obviously need to be done. Maybe it doesn't take on the full scope as it did before, but at the very least, we're not probably going to hear about this for a little while now. So I would imagine that is met with some disappointment from people. Like, geez, I kind of was mentally preparing for this for the last 3 years, and now it's just not going to do it. And now people get to wondering about the future of the stadium, what it might look like, and how long can the existing structure at South Memorial Stadium, continue to be functional. If you would call it functional right now. I guess it's functional in the sense that people can sit there, but not functional in many, many other ways.
hoping to just buy some Mick Ultras in the stadium, get yourself nice and lubed up to the point where you don't care what your surroundings are.
Yeah, I don't think anything is just reading the tea leaves here. It not only sounds like it's on hold for a moment, it sounds like you might be able to call it off.
Seems
off.
that way. Very much so.
So that is a significant development in Nebraska land. Troy Dannen commented on a variety of other issues. I want to know what you think about that. He talked about the relationship with NIL and revenue sharing and things like that. And there's some detail stuff that's in there that's kind of cool and maybe we didn't know about. And then, a whole bunch of other stuff. This is like a State of the Union from Troy Dannen, Nebraska's athletic director today. So we'll, of course, dive into that.
One interesting nugget that I found in there as well.
Go ahead.
And this is something that people kind of get up in arms about as well. This comes from Sean Callahan. Troy Dannen said that through the life of the current Big Ten TV deal, which goes through 32, he would expect Nebraska to host probably 2 more Friday night home football games. It will never be in a year when the Huskers play Iowa at home on Black Friday.
Yeah. Is that acceptable?
2 over the course of the next, what is that? 7 years?
So we're talking about 3 over 8.
Yeah.
Including last year.
Yeah. Yeah. That's fine. Not too disruptive. I don't
understand people who think it's disruptive at all.
Does Ohio State have to do this? Penn State doesn't have to do it.
Well, they win games.
Well, there is that piece of it too. All right. So plenty to get into as far as that's concerned, but let's step aside here and make way for Brian Munson from HuskerOnline.com. He joins the show as he regularly does on Friday at 11. Coming up next on 1620 The Zone.
Brian Munson.
Hey, long call. Comfy left Zoom Buster. 63 Bang Z Maui. Alert. Paradise Z Burger Y Wrap on one.
Husker Online on the Connor Happer Show on 1620 The Zone.
All right, time for our weekly chat with our good friend Brian Munson from HuskerOnline.com. He joins us now on the Prairie Flower Casino Zone hotline. Munson, hello. Happy Friday. How we doing?
I'm doing good, man. Less than 3 weeks away. Hard Knocks has started. High school football with Dayton Raiola next Thursday. I mean, things are getting very right in the world right now.
This is good.
I mean, that's all I have to say about it.
Yeah, that's a good little bullet point here for the first couple questions I have for you. So you're a Bills guy. Many have commented on how Hard Knocks is boring this time around. What say you? I got to be honest with you. I love Josh Allen, but I have not been compelled to watch it so far. But it's early.
I think that people probably, and I kind of felt like that would be a reaction to some because there is no drama. If you read a lot of the comments, like particularly like Bosa's comments, they've been pretty telling. Like this is a very close-knit team. Like they do things together all the time. And it gets mentioned, throughout Hard Knocks about how together like they are, like when they go do things, like they hang out together, like the players hang out together. Bosa's like, yeah, we never did that before. Like that wasn't something like we weren't friends like off the field, but like here it's like almost like that's the family vibe. And when you don't have, I think like, John Gruden and all of his things and having a controversial player, like Antonio Brown or something like else like that happening, like just picking on the Raiders, unfortunately for that. When you don't have that kind of controversy, that kind of drama, it does take away a little bit from it. But I think if you looked at it from the other lens, the other side of it, there's a very, probably helped that I was a Buffalo fan, but it was very just harmonious that they all get along that way, that there wasn't a lot of drama. It was kind of a really nice, like different take on how another program kind of takes care of their stuff. They got the Deion Dawkins that does his little thing away from the field and the new stadium they're building. And I think Josh Allen obviously got a lot of coverage and things like that. But I think things will get a little bit more, a little bit more interesting. I mean, James Cook is holding in, right? And that didn't really get mentioned too much in the first episode. So that I think things are going to kind of take a turn here a little bit to kind of provide this, there's some things hanging over this. It's not all puppy dogs and rainbows in Rochester right now, for Bills camp, but I think it's going to get there. But I think just generally it was a very upbeat, that's how I would kind of describe it. It was a very upbeat episode of Hard Knocks. And you generally don't have that, at least in week one.
I did see one clip, and I don't know if it was a teaser or if it was actually in the episode. And it was they took Josh Allen into the new stadium and explained to him not all of it, but some of the science behind how, obviously Buffalo is a place where you are, the wind can be completely detrimental coming off of the lake. And it was honestly amazing. And we're not there. We can't feel the wind. We can't really understand what it actually feels like in there, but they all seem to be like, no, you won't feel it. They made a stadium in Buffalo, or they're making a stadium in Buffalo that is somehow impervious to wind, which is honestly incredible.
Well, I thought about it that way because they scienced out.
Yeah, that was the word.
The issue. But in a lot of ways,
you thinking about Memorial Stadium?
Well, you level the playing field.
Yeah.
You take the home field advantage out because you have to throw through that sometimes, or kick through it, or whatever you want to say. And sometimes when you kind of take those elements out of the game, it maybe allows a team like Miami to be a little bit more comfortable when they have to come up in January or February. I mean, that's not what I want the folks from South Beach to feel, because
But that was the reason they didn't do the roof, right? And now they don't have the wind without the roof, which is crazy.
Had to have been. But I mean, I remember, I don't know if it was 2 years ago or 3 years ago. I think Buffalo traveled down to South Beach for like one of the first three games of the season. They've got a very similar kind of stadium going on in Miami where they got kind of a hole in the roof, and it just so happened like a magnifying glass, amplifying the sunlight was just right on the Bills sideline. And those dudes were dropping like flies, could have probably needed IVs like during the game. And a lot of those guys weren't even playing, and they're just like dropping out, because it was 1 billion degrees over there. So I think that there's things to be said about that where you don't want to give up too much, although it is uncomfortable for everyone. But I think that some of those things make playing in those kinds of places special and makes it your own and makes it basically something that you can prepare for that the other team coming from thousands of miles away to the south can't. I gotta be careful. A
lot of what you just said, it's so funny because we were just talking about what Troy Dannen had to say about Memorial Stadium and the future of it and the future of the project. And it feels like it's at least on hold for the moment. A lot has been made about how the wind at that stadium, back 100 plus years ago, they were not able to science out the wind. They were not able to do that. And one of the things that guy mentioned that was explaining the thing to Josh Allen was, you have to make it in a certain way so that if the wind doesn't literally swirl once it gets inside. Now, as it pertains to Nebraska, is that a feature or is that a bug that Nebraska has with this crazy swirling? Nobody knows where the wind is going at any times.
Is it a feature? That's probably
strong.
That's a tough label, but that's a strong label. I will tell you this. This is no kidding. I think it was spring game in Kearney. My son actually played, so it was his last year playing because he medically redshirted after that. And I swear to you, the field goal flags were literally blowing towards each other from opposite end zones.
Mm-hmm.
I've never seen the wind come out of the north and out of the south. And basically, the nexus of the universe was the 50-yard line in Kearney, Nebraska. It was totally, totally bizarre. Like I've never seen that before. It was almost like a sucking black hole had set up over the 50-yard line. But literally the flags were both pointed towards midfield, and the wind was coming from both directions. You're just like, what is going on here? But no, I think it's tough. I think it's tough, obviously, there because, I think there's some things about obviously those home field advantages, but obviously it does take a toll on the home team as well. And it's not so unpredictable and so out of control on every single game day to where you may need to, you're better off managing it when it happens versus being, like having it there every single weekend. I mean, those are absolutely the way that you want to kind of plan for that.
One place where they appeared to have enough money to bring in a wind scientist, Buford, Georgia. Okay.
Yeah.
So we didn't talk about this. I guess I wasn't here last week. You may have talked about it with Austin.
I think we touched on it a little bit. Yeah.
So this is where Dayton Raiola is going to be playing his senior year of football inside of a giant college. I mean, it looks like a college stadium at least. And like bordering on a major college stadium. We're talking luxury suites, places for TV broadcast crews to come in, making it easy for them. This is this looks incredible. And then what do you know? Dayton Raiola, as you wrote today on your piece of the Tunnel Talk, they're going to be on TV a lot in the first several weeks of the season.
Yeah, very, very interesting. I mean, I talked to him too. I had him in 3 and Out on Wednesday. Wanted to get his take on walking into a $60 million plus high school facility, number one, which is just, like you said, ridiculous. And Dayton says, like, to add to it, like the pictures don't do it justice. And through my son's like long snapping camps and stuff like that, we actually know the long snapper at Buford. So I'm like calling him up. I'm like, hey, have ticket prices like doubled, tripled? Like, what's up? He's like, no, $6. Like you get in for your $6 and that's that. So yeah, and you're gonna get Dayton against Milton next Thursday. And this is a pretty big game, like right out the gate, because Milton is actually trying to go back to back to back. This would be a third potential state championship if they can make a run this year. They can go win, the third straight state championship, excuse me. And this is the game that as many can recall, like there was like a driving hurricane rainstorm. The rain was coming in sideways. And this was Dayton Raiola's first varsity football game. This was, his first start is in a driving rainstorm against a team that's trying to go back to back. They lose 13-10. And then they don't lose again into the semifinals against Carrollton. And Carrollton, as everybody might recall, that had the 5-star quarterback that ended up flipping and going to Colorado. So they had a pretty good team. So Dayton's really got this amazing opportunity because they're preseason rated number 1 in the state. They open up against what was arguably their toughest competition that they're going to see until the state playoffs kind of start happening. And he's put in a ton of work. He's grown. He's gotten longer, in his frame. He's run track. He's been doing all these things, and I think people should be very, very interested in how he is going to do this year. Because if you go back and look at some of the previews for the Milton Buford game next Thursday on ESPN2, they don't even mention Dayton Raiola. They don't even talk about him, not once. And he's been on Nebraska's commitment list now for well over a year. And there's some real disservice, I think, in that regard, kind of happening, when it comes to Dayton. I feel like people are going to be very interested and very surprised in how he does. But I think Buford's going to be leveraging a lot of younger kids this year. So that may be like the one thing that's like the X factor and how they're going to kind of keep things going. They just don't have that kind of senior, experienced kind of team this season. It's different. They're athletic and they're good. They just don't have that kind of experience.
There's just something, I don't know what it is, Munson. There's just something understated about him. And obviously, the ranking doesn't blow you away or anything like that. But, you don't, if you were looking at him aside from his high school, just as a prospect, I don't know. You might think he comes from a completely different situation, but like you said, he's got the keys to a powerhouse with a giant football stadium in Georgia. What is it about him? Is it his personality? Is it the rating that people just, he kind of gets forgotten? And it's weird because, with the last name, the one he has in Raiola, you would think that he's a guy that people are watching, but that does not seem to be the case.
I think there's a couple things that people could pick on, but I don't think that they're fair. Number one, he's not a brash individual.
No.
He's not he doesn't do a lot of interviews. He's been very, very good with talking to me, and he is an incredible individual to talk to. Hopefully that comes out in my interviews with him, because I take real pride in the fact that he's comfortable talking to me about things, because he really puts himself out there, I think, in our conversations. But I think the other side of it is I think that, and he would probably admit it, I'm kind of going on a limb here a little bit, when you pit him against his brother, Dylan had the noise following him basically since he moved to Texas, was basically mid-cities, then moved out to Arizona and flipped high schools in Arizona, and then he went to Georgia. And this whole story, gets kind of propped up on Dylan. And, the fact that he was this 5-star, could have been a baseball player kind of thing, throwing a major league kind of mile per hour fastball or whatever. And then, Dylan's just kind of there quietly working. And I think that, I think people might have just thought that there was like this kind of come along effect, a little bit, like your last name is Raiola, so you're going to kind of get this thing. But I think that this is a year where he kind of puts his own stamp on it. And at least from all the work that I heard about him doing in the spring, that's where I think he even knows that this is his chance to kind of step out into his own spotlight.
Yeah, it's interesting because he's got a real chance, I think, to put that narrative in a different place this season because he's going to get a lot of exposure. Anything else, Munson, that we're sort of watching on the recruiting front? I know it's probably still pretty quiet at the moment, considering it's pretty much all football around here now.
Couple new offensive tackle offers over the last couple of days. Something to keep an eye on. I mentioned it in 3 and Out. You just had a couple of guys come off the board, and although maybe one of those guys ended up taking a visit still later on this season, Nebraska still felt like they needed to kind of expand their board. So I will have an offensive tackle update. I got a hold of one of them, and I can't remember. His name's JT. I can't remember what his last name is. I'm so sorry. But I'll have his update on Saturday. Nate, the other one, I'm going to catch up with him later on today because he was busy with practices and other things yesterday. And I thought that was interesting. I thought that maybe there would be some sort of a tie between and see like what happened with the news on these other guys kind of either committing to Michigan for Dare or kind of eliminating Nebraska, at least from like the top 5 or like from the next schools that they're going to kind of see. I kind of felt like their board, although it's still strong, needed a couple more names, and they went out and just offered a couple guys right away. So not a coincidence to see the board start expanding there a little bit at offensive tackle.
All right, Munson. Well, enjoy your weekend. Should be a good one. And like you said, we're going to have a high school football game on next week that people might want to pay attention to. And all of a sudden, we're just a couple weeks away from hitting the ground running here.
Unbelievable, buddy. This is my time of year. Talk to you soon.
See ya. Brian Munson from HuskerOnline.com. You can check out his section in the Tunnel Talk feature this morning, where he talked about what Dayton Raiola's been up to and a variety of different other things, and including some injury updates and things of that nature. So always good stuff with Munson. We will not talk with our dear friend Brian Christopherson today.
Whoa.
Yeah, just didn't work out with the timing. Just didn't work.
What?
Josh, it's okay. It's okay. We're still going to be friends.
We'll be friends after this, you promise?
We will be friends.
This is not the end?
I promise.
Okay.
Now, I need my fill. I haven't talked to BC in a while, but yeah.
He's not mad at us.
And I won't be here next Friday.
You will.
So I will probably go about a month without talking to Brian Christopherson, which is just not fair. I have to I got to find my way out to a practice this weekend or something like that, just to say hi.
Maybe take him out for a little brunch.
Brunch with BC.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what our segment should be called when he joins us.
That'd be a great idea.
Whenever he inevitably does again. He will be back, but just not today. All right. We will be back after a few short minutes on the Connor Happer Show on 1620 The Zone.
He has the latest sports news, expert analysis, award-winning commentary, and a pocket full of cabbage.
Can you give us an indication why?
Just in case there's a sauerkraut emergency.
Let's get back to the Connor Happer Show on 1620 The Zone.
Did you hear the news? Merritt Beeson is headed to Omaha to be a Nova. It's Nova's Nation. Apparently this free agent volleyball period is hitting like crack right now.
Yeah.
I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I got 5 Supernovas signings in the last 16 hours.
Whoa.
That's according to the tweets anyway.
Yeah.
What's going on?
So this
is volleyball free agency the new hot thing?
So I realized something about myself, I guess, yesterday.
All right.
When this Merritt Beeson announcement came down, I sort of thought like
you didn't understand the scope of the stardom of Merritt Beeson.
No, I did. Made sense that would be the first, like, ladies and gentlemen, we got her. But I sort of thought it would be more like, the other professional sports leagues that I know, where everybody signs the first minute of free agency.
No,
so I was like,
more
refresh.
a traditional,
Refresh.
more of a traditional free agency period.
Constantly refreshing that thing, not getting any more news, and I'm like, well, I guess they were one and done.
That's it.
They were not. Couple.
If it was just one and done, though, I mean,
well, they got 2 girls from the team that just won the title, the Ignite.
Those are like their rivals, right?
I think so.
Are the rivals Atlanta? I don't know who the rivalries are in this league.
It depends on who's good.
What are the trophy games?
That's what MLV needs.
Trophy games?
Trophy games.
Because the Supernovas went to the playoffs last year, right? But they lost in their first game.
That's correct.
And it's like a 4. It's a 4 team?
I'm pretty sure. I'm sorry if I'm wrong.
This is all off of memory. Yeah, I think that's right. By the way, get a text here from Alex in Lincoln.
Hi, Alex.
Wondering where Brian Christopherson is. Did Josh suspend him?
I did not.
Brian would
he did
never
not decline my green text either.
He would never say bad words on the radio. BC would not. He would not.
He strikes me as someone that might not swear just
in his life.
Yeah.
No, I think that's right. I think that's right. Just a really, really nice guy.
A lot of freakins.
Like when BC leaves the business, whenever he might, people will just say that was just the nicest guy.
One of the good ones, Brian Christopherson.
That's what they'll say about him. But he's not going anywhere except for from this show today.
He's busy.
Well, there's player availability today.
Will Riley Van Poppel get full?
That's a great question. It's funny. This is a great segue into something I was going to bring up here.
Thank you.
I did not see Riley Van Poppel in the training table yesterday. I thought he was supposed to be eating all the time.
All the time.
I didn't see him in the training table yesterday during Matt Rule's video.
Oh, yeah.
I only saw Rink masked.
That would have been a funny bit.
And the workers.
Riley was in here and Matt just walks by him and he goes, yeah, that's Riley. He's always there.
So that's kind of his spot, We just bring him plates of food and he just eats. They're just gone. I love every year that happens. Like a guy needs to pick up weight or something like that. And he's like, and the media asks him, so what's that process look like? What do you do? And he's like, oh, I just eat. Like, what do you mean you just eat? He's like, yeah, I eat all the time from everywhere. And he's like, well, they're like, don't you have this beautiful, awesome training table? He's like, yeah, not enough. I go eat everywhere. Everywhere I go, I eat. It sounds pretty cool. He's like fat bastard in that way.
I eat because I'm sad.
I eat because I'm unhappy. I'm unhappy because I eat. But in Riley Van Poppel's case, he's actually happy.
He seems very pleasant.
He's very, very happy because he eats. I'd be happy if I ate just all the time. So Matt Rule walking through the complex yesterday, showing off the new Starbucks. Yeah. He says, I got to get my app. That dude knows everybody. What a gregarious man Matt Rule is. He's so gregarious.
Good vocab word.
He is incredibly gregarious, Josh. He just knows everybody. He walks in, they're like, so there's this one guy that I see on TikTok, and he's a tall fella. He used to play college football. And he's got like red hair and a beard, but he's got like an absolutely bubbly personality, you know?
The guy who eats raw meat?
No.
Oh.
Not Liver King.
Liver King.
No.
That was it.
He just goes into, and he lives in Louisiana. And so he goes into all these kind of like hole in the wall, awesome food places in Louisiana. And he walks in there and he acts like he knows everybody. He's like, "What's up, baby? You know, what
Okay.
you know, what do we got going on today?" And
interesting bit.
He says his order like a pro, and you know, he kind of has an accent and stuff like that. That's Matt Rule.
Yeah.
Matt Rule walks into, he has never not known someone when he walks into places.
And like we called the last guy an act. That's not a bit from Matt Rule.
I don't think it is either.
That's him.
I don't want this to come off the wrong way. We'll probably make fun of him for it.
Yes.
But
just like we make fun of Gary for like, you have to talk to everyone.
Yeah. But that's totally real. Not an act at all. He'll go and so there's the guy who works in the at the training table at Nebraska. His name is Kevin. So Kevin's deal is he wears I think he wears like basically a modified like Snuggie, like, but he's at but he goes to all the events and he's there first row and he's always yelling "Go Big Red." Like, I've gotten to know Kevin over the years because he's always in the same place for the women's basketball games. Okay. And so Kevin works, he must be a college student now, and he works in the training table. He's like, "This is my guy Kevin." They did a feature on him not very long ago. And he's like, "This is my guy, Kevin." He talks to all the people behind the counter making the food. That's my guy, Jared, back there. And he's making all this stuff. This is Sharon. And she's making all, you know, she makes the best this, and this, and this. We got to get stuff going for me. And coach, you got to watch, you know, they're razzing him. They're like, "Coach, I thought you got to watch your weight. What happened?" You know, it's like, "I'm off today," you know, stuff like that. That's Matt Rule. That's Matt Rule.
Yeah.
He's
going to have a micro conversation with everyone. Just,
yep.
Hey, Gary, you sweeping the floors over there? How's your wife?
Yeah, exactly. So, by the way, we got a text here from Sam. Or, I'm sorry, a tweet. Other Sam. What do you think Rule's Starbucks order is? I bet he's an iced shaken espresso guy.
I'm thinking.
I think there's
an excellent question.
My guess would be that there's more than 4 words in it.
Okay.
Poll question. Does Matt Rule's Starbucks order have more than 4 words in it?
Great question.
Iced, shaken, mocha latte, you know, premium or whatever it is. Does it have more than 4 words? I'm going to guess yes. But he's also like a gasoline guy too. I was going to
say now, yes, it has more than 4 words in it. But later in the season, when it's the grind, black coffee, hot.
I've heard him say that before. He's like, "No, I don't mess with all the other stuff." But now he's got a Starbucks at his fingertips. He goes, you know, it's like he was doing an ad for Starbucks in this video yesterday. Have you watched it, Josh?
I have not. This is the one worth watching. It sounds like.
I mean, it's funny. And I received a couple texts yesterday, and it was like, "Yeah, I think it's also funny how all these people that Matt Rule just happens to run into are all mic'd up."
Sure. Yeah. I don't care.
I don't care. It's a bit, right? Like, let's do one with me, you know, and I'll walk around NRG Media.
I wish we had time to do that.
What's up, Mike? You know, how we doing today?
Who would edit it? Who would post it?
A lot of options for that.
That's what we need part-timers for.
But so anyway, all the people are mic'd up, but it looked like he was doing like a Starbucks ad. He's like, you know, I got to use my app. So he goes in there and he says hi to the person. He's like, "What do we got going today?" And he's like, "You know, I got to get on my app. I'll be right back." And then he goes around and shakes hands with other people and all that stuff. It's Matt Rule, like 100% in his element. So what you see in this is like, it's his personality, which I think is really cool. But it does put you out there to potentially be made fun of and things like that, which I don't think he knows about, but I don't think he really cares about it. I do think he's got the right mentality for all this stuff. And he doesn't mind being the face of a program, that's for sure. Like, I think he loves, I've said this before about Dannen, who I think loves being the athletic director at Nebraska. I think Matt Rule loves being the head football coach at Nebraska and all of that stuff. You know, whatever is inside of there. I think he loves all of it.
I think Matt Rule is just now getting in his element in that building. Like, okay, now I can finally do what I was meant to do or whatever. But are these the buzziest things to come out of the offseason? Are these walk and talk videos?
Maybe. I mean, unless you really enjoy talking about the future of the college football playoff.
No, I don't.
Interesting. Should have told me that before we talked about it all summer, Josh.
Well, I understood we had to.
Yeah, that was kind of all we had. There's no conference realignment this summer. It's weird.
Unless you count that weird UNC day.
Charles writes in,
Charles.
He's an Americano guy.
I could see that.
Dude, if me and Matt Rule handshaked on being Americano guys, that'd be pretty cool. That'd be pretty cool. So like I said, it does put you out there, to potentially be made fun of. John emails in.
Hi, John.
He loves making fun of Rule. He says on the Equitable Bank inbox, we need way less Rule until around midnight on August 28th. So he doesn't want to hear from Matt Rule at all anymore until after the game.
I mean, then I'd be a little worried.
Today's modern football coach is much less a football coach than they are a face of the program, a walking advertisement, right? That's what the modern football coach is. And Matt Rule knows that, and he has put in place a lot of people that he trusts who are proven on the staff to be able to take care of a lot of the football stuff. He's in charge of the culture, right? He's in charge of directing all those people, shifting them in whichever direction from a football perspective he feels. And I think maybe one of the most chief things he does is not necessarily videos like this, but he is chiefly the face of the program. He's a walking billboard for Nebraska football and the University of Nebraska and hell, the state of Nebraska. And so in my opinion, it's a good thing that Nebraska has a coach that embraces that idea and not only embraces it, but actually seems to literally enjoy it. I mean, I can think of a lot of football. So there's a lot of reasons why, but I'm ramping up to this point, so I might as well just say it. I think Matt Rule is the right coach for right now. I think Matt Rule is the right coach for right now. And who knows? Who knows what it might have looked like if if some other previous coach is the coach here right now. Maybe they embrace it, maybe they take it in full stride, but I just think they got the right, I think they have the right setup. Do they have it right from the football perspective? Some people might think that's all that matters, and I don't have the answer to that question yet. I don't, but I do like the setup that they have, and I do think that's a lot of the battle that predecessors of his were not able to figure out.
I like that every time he gets up there, he is going to answer the media member's question and not just take the first off-ramp to complaining about quote unquote kids today and everybody's just here to make a quick buck. Nobody wants to put in the work. He doesn't complain about the state of the game. Now he has issues and he'll bring up.
He's got takes.
Yeah, he's got takes, but
because I do think
he's not sit there and God, I don't even know why I got into coaching because these kids are just so entitled and crap.
He's just got a great attitude.
Yeah.
And I know that sounds like I don't know. It sounds like I'm pumping sunshine or whatever, but I just love his attitude. I love his attitude about how to approach things on a day-to-day basis, and he values. I think he values consistency. He values minute to minute, and he also understands his role, so to speak, in the program. And he's not afraid to showcase and highlight other people within the program as well. With that being said, he is absolutely in charge. You know what I mean? Everything goes through him still. They have 1 billion people on that staff. 1 billion, Josh. As many dollars as it would take to build a football stadium, they have staff members.
Well, maybe that's where the shortfall is coming at the university.
Well, I do think there's a topic maybe the spending, if
maybe Trev was right.
If you feel like maybe you need a couple extra bucks, maybe you could get rid of some of the fluff.
Are you saying they don't need a Starbucks in that facility?
It's not about the facilities. I love capital projects, Josh.
Okay.
I love stuff like that, but
Poll question.
maybe you just don't need like a 1-to-1 or more in terms of personnel to player.
Interesting take by you.
Basketball staffs have that around the country now. But it's a big operation, and they're going to throw everything they can into being successful at football. Damon's got a point on that.
They bring in revenue.
Yes, that is the word of the summer. Is revenue the word of the summer? Poll question.
Up at Happer Show.
Yeah, I like it. Is revenue the word of the summer? Placat writes in, he says, Dylon being fat was the offseason. Or won the offseason.
That burned pretty hot for a few days there, didn't it?
Yeah. And then David writes in about Rule. He says, it's a nice recruiting tool. Unlike Scott F., don't talk to me about my family. He cares and is willing to do whatever he has to do to make us successful. Yeah. Yes. I think we could get like a little over. I don't, I just appreciate his attitude. It doesn't seem to be, he's not thinking about what's happened in the past. He's not really thinking about what's going to happen in the future. It's kind of like right now. He's enjoying what he has at his fingertips. He gets paid $8.5 million a year. It's pretty great to be the head coach at Nebraska. It's a lot.
Gig.
It's a lot on his shoulders, but he's a guy who's built for it. I think he likes managing. He likes putting people in the right place. I think he sees stuff in people as well. But the question will still remain, are they going to get the football part right? Because none of it matters if they don't get the football part right at the end of the day. That's when people get fired. Or maybe you'll see less people getting fired because of all the budget stuff these days. Nebraska has an athletic department fine in the budget category. They've had to shift around some things and add the new $20.5 million, which will only increase in the years going forward, but they're okay compared to their peers, I should say, compared to a lot of their peers. All right. So by the way, another tweet from Sam. Connor wants facilities.
Careful.
I like facilities. There's a Starbucks. There's a Starbucks inside the facility. Hey, Josh, you have the dump button. You're in charge of me. My life is in your hands.
I just want you to conduct yourself in a manner.
Yeah. I'm just reading the tech. I'm just reading the tweets, okay?
Now,
trying to get people involved in the show.
The thing I've been wondering all week is when there's a Starbucks in a grocery store, like you're generally an employee of the grocery store and assigned to work at the Starbucks that day.
I think so. I don't know how that works.
I don't. Who's operating the Starbucks? Is it Nebraska or is it Starbucks?
Great question. Did Starbucks just have a couple people from corporate left over and they're like, you're now assigned to the one inside the Nebraska athletics training facility, where you have to constantly feed Matt Rule coffee?
Would be an amazing.
I mean,
are they making great tips or horrible tips?
Great question. Is this the best Starbucks in the world or the worst?
It's one or the other, right?
I think it's probably the worst because it's mostly college kids,
who
college athletes,
and
they only pay on their cashless. Rule said in the video, we're cashless. I looked at the camera, we're cashless. Get the.
I gotta watch it.
You do have to watch it, and it's on the app. I assume you get a tip option on the app.
Mm-hmm.
It might be pretty tough though.
Is it a slow work day? I mean, there's a lot of kids milling about.
I mean, right now probably a little slow because not every student athlete is back on campus yet.
Rhett with a piece of information for us in the chat.
Hello, Rhett in the chat.
At Central Community College, there were kitchen workers who learned the trade.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. That's what we had at Southwestern Community College as well.
My wife for a summer, worked at Starbucks inside a grocery store, and she worked for the grocery store, but they said, okay, you only work at the Starbucks.
You work for Starbucks now.
Yeah.
Did she wear a Starbucks hat and apron, or did she wear a Hy-Vee?
Starbucks.
Or whatever store it was.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, good to know. Yeah, logistics. We'll have to ask that question to Dannen next time he talks. Dannen, I don't want to hear about the stadium stuff. Who works for who in the Starbucks?
Let's talk about things that are actually happening.
How
not
much
these
money is that
fictitious friends we
Starbucks
got.
bringing in?
Yeah.
All right, Josh has the odd news when we return on 1620 The Zone.
And now we've reached the point in the show where Josh Odson reads the peculiar, the bizarre, the comical, the odd news with Odd Son. Odd news, Odd Son. See what we did there? The odd news with Oddson.
Jeff writes in on YouTube.
Hi, Jeff.
Has anyone figured out why the heck they're playing in Kansas City? Long story short is Cincinnati wants money.
And we're happy to give it to them.
That's right.
Okay.
Which I appreciated about
Yeah.
Nebraska. They're always up for a good time. It doesn't matter what cause it goes to.
It was this or Indianapolis. Could you imagine?
Let's help Cincinnati fund their tiny baby athletic department for the next 5 years. Or whatever it is.
It's a buy game of sorts.
Kind of is. It was originally supposed to happen in 2020. And then
what happened?
And then COVID happened. And then I thought there was a second where they were going to play it in, maybe it was then scheduled for a Cincinnati home game. And then they were like, no, let's play it in Indianapolis. That'll be a really good idea. Neutral site. You'll get some Nebraska fans. And then they were like, well, what good does it do us to have 35 or 40,000 people in a giant NFL stadium? Let's make some money off of this. It's Cincinnati's home game, but they're playing it in Kansas City, and there will be 70,000 Nebraska fans there, which will be cool, but it will result in some profit for the Bearcats.
That's okay.
Yeah. All right. Let's get to the odd news, Josh. What do we got?
Yesterday, NFL preseason, former Pro Bowl running back Marshawn Lynch, one of the best power backs of the modern era.
That's right.
And he's doing what a lot of retired athletes have found a home doing.
A podcast?
Close.
No.
Photography.
Oh, yeah.
Randy Johnson, Ken Griffey Jr., certified shutterbugs. You can add Marshawn Lynch to that list. He was on the sidelines.
Can I get a sample? Can I see the pics? Are they on the wire?
I don't know if Getty has the images yet. But unlike those famous photogs from the baseball world, Marshawn Lynch still has a little bit of beast mode in him. Current Seahawks running back George Holani, I hope I said that right, scored a touchdown in the first quarter and ended right in Lynch's corner of the end zone. And unlike 99% of the photographers who would get out of the way, Lynch held his ground and gave Holani a forearm to the back.
Dude, back in I used to do that sometimes. Not a I'm not going to put a shoulder down into him, but I'm like, I'm not moving, try and run me over. And then I found out, not from experience. I'm like, that's a horrible idea. I would get run over. People with reckless abandon just coming at you and they don't even know you're there. It's a horrible idea.
This happened to, I remember Dennis Rodman always getting in trouble with the cameraman on the sideline.
Didn't one of the Nebraska media members get run over?
Oh.
So not injured in any way,
Sure.
but I feel like I remember somebody getting smoked a year or two ago.
Oh, no.
Yeah. It happens.
Mm-hmm.
Late in the game, media's down on the sideline waiting, and here comes the play. Boom.
Sometimes the action comes your way. You got to be ready for it.
Yeah. So yeah, Marshawn Lynch throws an elbow. Oh, to protect his camera.
Well,
I mean, you got it. I mean, that's your lifeblood, right?
It is, yeah. He should protect the camera, but
he should probably not be stiff arming NFL players. Is that what you're saying?
I imagine the league probably doesn't like that. They might revoke his
no, they won't.
His smock,
his photo vest.
Yeah.
Oh, what kind of pictures he's getting? I got to see these.
Show us the prints, Marshawn.
Check the wire.
Yeah. I'll take you to Chicago for story number 2. Are you familiar with Chicago?
Yeah, the bean.
Mm-hmm. More than 82,000 rubber ducks went floating down the Chicago River for the 2025 Ducky Derby.
Yeah.
An annual fundraiser for Special Olympics Illinois. The event called on spectators and fans to adopt the duck for $10, and then the ducks are dumped into the river. Organizers said more than 82,000 rubber ducks participated in this year's derby, which raised nearly $600,000. The event included live music, food trucks, photo opportunities. None of the photo guys will stiff arm you.
It is cool because I watch the video of this every year when they dump truck the rubber ducks into the river. But I don't know, the picture that I have in my head is the ducks filling up the entire Chicago River, and it's pretty underwhelming when the entire dump truck goes in there because they don't at all. They don't. I'm like, damn, that would have been.
They'd fill it up.
I thought it would be a whole river full of rubber ducks, but no.
The ducks are removed from the river after the race and stored for use in next year's events. So
do you think?
Don't worry.
Do you think that this event is solely responsible for keeping the rubber duck industry alive?
That and Jeeps.
Do you think people are doing the rubber ducks anymore? My young daughter has a rubber duck.
Okay.
But I think it came in like a pack, so I had to buy, there was a pack and it just so happened to come with like a free rubber duck.
Oh, okay.
We didn't buy it for the rubber duck.
Okay.
It came in like a pack.
Interesting.
I think.
Yeah, I mean, it's the Chicago River babies who take baths.
Yep.
And
Well,
and the Jeep industry.
That's always what it was, right? Babies. Now there's just so many toys.
Yeah.
My daughter's got boats. She's got she's got a little shark that fills up with water and it'll squirt you. She's got various cups. Some cups that have holes in them. Some cups that are shaped like Bluey, the dog from Bluey.
Hello.
I mean, it's basically more toys than it is baby
Absolutely.
in the bath.
We've got a boat, a Godzilla, a King Kong.
Hey, when's your kid start taking showers?
I don't know.
Is that coming up?
We've offered.
And he's like, no, thank you.
He's like, nah, I don't care for that. I'm like, okay, you take a bath, that's fine.
Yeah, I wonder when that happens.
Mm-hmm.
I'll have to think about that.
Well,
by the way, no Marshawn Lynch images on the wire.
Wow.
From last night.
Interesting. What are they trying to hide?
Yeah.
And finally, Connor, one of your favorite phenomenon.
Truck spills?
No. Earlier this week in Boston, there was a powerful fireworks show from about 9:30 to 10 p.m. The only problem,
they all went off at the same time.
Nobody knew what the hell was happening.
I love it.
NBC 10 photographer Mark Garfinkel shot some photos. But fireworks in early August? What is the deal? Many Bostonians were wondering.
Oh, it was accidental.
Yes.
But they didn't go
They
all
did not
off
go
at the
off
same time.
all at the same time.
See, that's the thing I like.
Yeah, that's the thing you like. The fireworks show is part of the National Conference of State Legislatures meeting in Boston this week. The show coincided with the show from the Boston Pops and Boys to Men. What a double bill. But they didn't advertise it, and it came mere minutes after the Red Sox signed rookie Roman Anthony to a contract extension. So Sports Pilled Boston said,
yes,
this must be Sox related.
We got him. It's part of the celebratory conclusion of the National Conference of State Legislators. What a nice gesture by the people who run that to say, yep, conference is over. Fireworks show.
Fireworks. You came to Boston. You want some Americana. Here's the Boston Pops and Boys to Men.
Maybe you cut that out of the budget next year.
Yeah, what is Boston's budget like? Is it good, bad?
The budget for the National Conference of State Legislatures, I don't know.
I mean, budgets are getting slashed all over the place in government.
That's true. That's true. All right, Josh, thanks.
Thank you, Connor.
That is indeed the odd news. Not quite as good of a fireworks story as I like it to be, but still a pretty good one. A surprise fireworks.
I drew you in.
Not bad at all. Let's LH says, was it like Christmas Vacation where everyone in Boston stopped and started singing the national anthem? Wasn't it the Pledge of Allegiance in Christmas Vacation? A movie that is overrated.
Whoa, hot take. I'm blanking.
I think remember because the old grandma just stopped and put her hand on her heart. I'm pretty sure it was a Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge of Allegiance, yeah.
Which is funny,
hilarious.
The only funny part of the whole movie.
Whoa,
just kidding. It's kind of funny, but it's overrated. That's all. All right, yeah. Stay tuned for that take. You got about 4 more months before we dust that one off again.
Gross. That's too soon.
Coming up, noon hour. We'll have Chris Solari, the Detroit Free Press, coming up at the bottom of the hour. And don't forget, our dear friend Steve Sipple stops by at 1 o'clock. It's the Connor Happer Show right here on 1620 The Zone.
Let's get back to the Connor Happer Show on 1620 The Zone.
Here comes the clown.
Welcome back. Connor Happer, Josh Hodson with you. It's the noon hour of the Connor Happer Show here on 1620 The Zone and on 1620thezone.com. A reminder. Oh, actually, this may be the first time we're telling you about this. So I said it was 4 months until Christmas, Josh, and you said, gross.
That's right. I saw a Christmas commercial on TV this week.
Can I interest you in pumpkin patch season? I better be able to.
Yeah. It's about that time. Sure, why not?
Fall's just around the corner. 1620 The Zone is giving you a chance to win a season pass to Vallis Pumpkin Patch, which is, of course, Nebraska's favorite fall attraction. I could vouch for that myself. You could win 2 2025 season passes to Vallis and enjoy the fall family fun that Vallis has to offer. It's like having a membership. And the great thing about having a membership is you go for however long you want. You don't have to worry about squeezing all the family fun into one outing. Enter to win on our website, 1620thezone.com right now. And trust me, even if you scoff at the idea of a Vallis Pumpkin Patch Pass right now, you are going to be kicking yourself when you don't have one in October.
Work ahead for once in your life.
Do something for future you and your future family. Okay. Have some dignity and honor.
A man who doesn't take care of his family isn't a man at all.
Not a man at all, Josh. That's what people say. Let's head over to the Prairie Flower Casino Zone hotline and check in with Random Mike, who rings us up there now. Hello, Mike.
You know what I've been thinking of? Our buddy from Myrtle Beach. Have you heard from him lately?
Greg in Myrtle Beach? No. Not now that I think about it, no. We haven't gotten a call or a text in a while.
I just wonder what he thinks of the new, coordinators, the new arrangement there where head coach is more of a CEO and there are other guys with, real responsibility for the product on the field that you might have some confidence in. I'd be curious what he thinks about it.
Yeah, somebody needs to send out the bat signal for Greg in Myrtle Beach. I would like to hear some takes. He'll be back during football season, I'm sure.
Because, as I recall, he hasn't had a whole lot of positive to say. And I know, like all of us, he wants to see the results. But I wonder what he thinks of how it looks going into the season. Wouldn't you be curious about that?
I would. Of course. I'm curious about everybody's takes. Mike, are you a positive or negative person right now?
I'm very positive. And I think you guys are too, aren't you? Just the way things are in place, particularly you hear this a lot, but with the coordinators we got.
Yeah, table set. No guarantees, but yeah, right. I like the position they're in for sure.
And for the first time, I heard the new DB's coach. What's his name?
Addison Williams.
Yeah, and I was impressed. I don't know how you feel about it.
I agree.
But, and that's a good thing. But you got guys in position, and I know Butler was talking about this. That this is new for him, not having direct coaching with the guys where somebody else is doing it, and that it's a big adjustment, and he misses it.
Yeah, I mean, it is interesting how they sort of have it all set up with guys sort of moving up and stuff like that. But I do think Butler wants to be an NFL. It seems like he wants to be an NFL defensive coordinator, and so he's got to get his crack at being an architect for a defense. I think he's starting from a pretty good spot at Nebraska. So yeah, I like the look of that group too.
Yeah, and if things really work out like we hope, he might just want to stay here.
Maybe.
Of course, we're getting ahead of ourselves, but the special teams possibility, it's just like the upside is really big. And I got a question for Josh. I know he's an Atlanta baseball fan. What's the latest on Schwellenbach?
Expected to be back for the start of next season, I guess.
I mean, were you enjoying watching him?
Oh, yeah.
Before he got hurt?
Oh, yeah. He was great. It's a very consistent outing. Like, hey, He's going to give you 6 or 7 innings, 6 strikeouts. It's going to look great.
A month ago, they said they were not optimistic, but they were hoping to get him back still at the end of this year. But
why bother?
Yeah, but I think the consensus is that they're so bad and out of it that the last thing you want to do is get him back too early.
Yeah, no need to rush it.
But I think truly he was one of the bright young pitchers in the game. I mean, it's quite incredible.
And he hasn't been pitching that long. I mean,
that's the thing. I mean, it's unbelievable. And we saw how great he was in Nebraska, and he just pitched, I think, 1 year of closing.
Well, and he had, and then remember, right when he went into pro ball, he had Tommy John, like immediately.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But so many guys after Tommy John are better than ever. But it was really fun watching him play, and it was really sad to hear it. And then Povich had a pretty good outing last time, again on a team that's out of it. But what I enjoy is hearing Hall of Fame pitchers who are doing our analysts, on the TV broadcast, whether it's Glavin or Smoltz or Jim Palmer, talking about these Husker pitchers. And I know they love Schwellenbach. I mean, they really do. You can tell.
Yeah, they think really, really highly of him. And Povich will stick around for a long time if he just keeps doing what he's doing right now. I don't know about the upside on him, but he'll be a good professional pitcher for a while.
And Connor, I recall you did an interview with him. Was it at one of the ball games at
Povich came on a couple spring trainings ago when we kind of went through the tour of we were calling all the former Husker guys who were in professional baseball.
And I remember thinking, what a good guy he seemed. A guy that's really easy to root for.
Yeah, agreed.
But yeah, as far as all the publicity with our head coach, I would feel a lot worse about it if he hadn't made the changes in his staff. Because as our buddy from Myrtle Beach says, the record is not good against good teams.
That is a reason for optimism for sure. Thanks, Mike.
You got it. Bye.
All right. By the way, just quick derail real quick. Since we're all about derailing here. So in Little League games, we're watching North Dakota versus, I assume, South Dakota now.
That's right.
Fargo versus Sioux Falls. Kearney was eliminated yesterday by Sioux Falls.
Travesty.
So they hit all 12. They got 12 guys on the team. They hit them all.
Yeah.
What in the hell are we? Like, I know they're kids, but like, this is competitive stuff. You're trying to win a trophy. Somebody's got to sit on the bench.
Everybody's got to play, Connor.
No, not everyone has to play, Josh. Somebody's got to learn how to sit on the bench.
Somebody's got to be the chant guy.
Somebody's got to be the chant guy.
I was the chant guy.
And somebody's got to learn how to, if they want to get on the field, how do they find a way to get on the field?
Oh,
they got guys who aren't playing defense who are in like second in the lineup. Crazy. Ridiculous. Little leaguers.
I mean, I would sit in the dugout and I would chant about throw them the cheese, throw them the cheddar.
Yeah. Pitcher's name is Sally.
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
Yeah.
Rally.
All sorts of stuff. We were flipping hats around.
When you got in the game, what did you do?
Strike out on 3 pitches.
What'd you do on defense? Play a little right field?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. That's right.
Yeah.
I was just happy to be like, I didn't even realize that. Oh, that's where they put the crappy players.
When did you play baseball until? What age were you?
Second grade.
Oh, okay. Yeah. There ain't nobody hit it into right field in first grade.
No. I was happy I was outside. I had a glove. It was like.
Did you get your uniform dirty?
God, no.
Come on. You just got to roll around in there a little bit.
It had a Ken Griffey Jr. signature in the glove. You know, it was always somebody's glove,
Oh, you didn't have a glove?
I had a glove, but they were all like a player's glove, and I was like, "Ooh, I got Ken Griffey Jr.'s glove."
Yeah, they were like embroidered, right? They came with all those. I remember I got a Royals glove as a giveaway from Kauffman Stadium. It was like a full size kid's glove. I used that for a while until I got like a real glove. So it said Royals on the on the wrist guard or whatever. I was pretty happy about that glove.
Yeah.
Very excited. Katie writes in on Twitter.
Hi, Katie.
Random Mike's ability to call in, ask random questions, and derail a show is unrivaled. I mean, it really is.
That's why he's Random Mike.
It's a good thing, though.
Yeah.
We don't know where we're going.
Yeah.
I mean, I get we kind of do, but I don't mind going off into paths that are less talked about.
Yeah, let's check out what's going on over there.
If you want to call in and say, hey, Kate Povich is really cool and Spencer Schwellenbach is really cool, and maybe somebody will call in one day and say Isaac Collins and Alan Roden are pretty cool or something like that. Honk, honk. You feel free to do that.
I think the Braves should play a game at Memorial Stadium. They're looking for ways to jack revenue up and hold events there. I mean, they got like 8 pitchers from Nebraska on that team, in that organization.
They do.
In some level or
Sears
another.
down there?
Yeah.
Okay. You got Bummer.
Just bring them all home.
You got Schwellenbach. Okay. Interesting idea.
I guess they could play the Royals. I don't know.
What if they did like a Creighton, Nebraska major leaguer professional baseball player alumni game?
Ooh.
You think we could make rosters for that? Who would win? Creighton doesn't have I don't think Creighton has any active pitchers. No, they have a couple down in the minor leagues. I don't know for sure. But I think they got a couple down in the minor leagues. They have 2 major leaguers at the moment. They're hitters. Yeah, Creighton doesn't have quite as many. Maybe we wouldn't be able to do this. Sorry. Premature honking, Josh.
We'll get there, though.
Nicky Lopez would love that, says Charles.
Yeah.
He would do it. He would play, that's for sure. By the way, speaking of Creighton and honking, it's got this to my inbox from Rob Anderson. Whoa. Have you heard of Rob? This is press release alert.
Honk, honk.
Creighton volleyball fans who will take in tomorrow's blue-white exhibition match will be among the first to see numerous improvements made to DJ So Cold Arena, as I like to call it, DJ So Cold Arena, because it's extremely cold in there. Until there's 25,000 volleyball crazed fans in there, and then all of a sudden it gets hot. $1 million worth of improvements at DJ Sokol Arena, including new video boards, 11-foot by 16-foot digital video boards made by Daktronics on the southeast and southwest walls. As I said, those were the boards that used to be placed inside the CHI Health Center from their scoreboard that they redid this summer. Also, affordable family concessions options have been added, like Junior J's meals.
Whoa.
Available for kids 10 and under. Pizza, mac and cheese, or a hot dog with yogurt and a drink for only $5. Josh,
is there a picture of the concession menu?
I don't see any attachments.
Okay, well, I need you to get in there tomorrow and snap a pic.
Oh, should I do a walking video?
Probably could.
Season tickets are of course sold out for Creighton volleyball, but there are limited single match tickets to some games available right now. Go Creighton.com/buy. Tomorrow, if you're going to the blue-white scrimmage, you do not need a ticket. Just go in.
Just go in.
Just go in. It's free. And you will see the beautiful, beautiful new-ish DJ Sokol Arena, which also has added new padded seats.
Padded?
Not for everyone, but for about 10%. We're talking middle court on each side. But they are nice.
Okay.
They are nice. I've seen.
You seem to know an awful lot about these facilities.
Well, I sometimes I just go over there and I just walk in there.
It says just walk in.
I definitely wasn't there on Wednesday when I was suspended.
Yeah.
But no, yeah. It was just, sometimes you just go.
You were at home on Wednesday thinking about what you had done.
Definitely wasn't at DJ Sokol Arena for any reason whatsoever.
Interesting.
No, I wasn't there. You definitely won't be seeing the results of when I was when I definitely wasn't at DJ Sokol Arena at any point soon.
Definitely won't be seeing.
Yeah, go ahead and repeat that back to me, Josh.
Couldn't if I tried.
Also, this from the CHI Health Center. You ready for this, Josh? You're going to like it.
Oh, no.
Temporary road closure in front of CHI Health Center to impact drivers near 10th and Capitol. Make sure to plan ahead and add extra travel time for events and at CHI Health Center. There's also if if you want to if you're going to a Creighton volleyball match this fall, you better know what you're doing, because
Gonna separate the men from the boys, so to speak.
parking is going to be an absolute nightmare disaster. Oh no, disaster. Please, can we?
Oh no! Disaster!
Because people forget, Josh, they're building new baseball and softball fields right there.
Softball field looks pretty built.
Softball field looks pretty built indeed, but they're also building a new baseball field that will start to go upwards soon, which is exciting. By the way, the new seats at DJ Sokol Arena are the same seats basically that are going to be in the new softball stadium with the pads. This is all from the Rob informational email. Thank you, Rob.
What a good email, Rob.
It is a great email. All right. Should we do the spreadsheet for like 5 minutes until we talk to our guest? That's about all I need.
Yeah.
All right. So after what did we talk about all last offseason for Nebraska football?
Crap offense.
Yes.
Why is our tight ends coach making that much money?
But there was maybe a twinge of optimism. No, last offseason.
Last offseason.
Last offseason.
I'm sorry.
Before last season. Crap offense was correct, by the way.
Turnovers.
Yes, correct, Josh.
If you just get those turnovers,
a twinge of optimism. Maybe you could turn a bad offense into a livable situation if you just don't drop the ball blatantly every time. So just to look back, was Nebraska able to fix some of that last year? As we proclaimed over and over and over again, they are not going to turn the ball over as much. I promise you. Jeff Sims isn't there anymore. They're not going to run the quarterback as much. Dylan Raiola is here, and they will be at least fine in the turnover category. And fine is exactly how I would explain it. Nebraska lost 7 fumbles last year. They threw 12 interceptions, turning the ball over 19 times, which is kind of a lot still, but it's 73rd in the country. So a little worse than half of the teams in the nation. Nebraska's defense, they went and got some more turnovers last year. They grabbed 6 fumbles and they grabbed 11 interceptions a year ago, making that number 17. So 17 turnovers gained was 67th in the country compared to 93rd the year before that, and only gaining 4. So once again, to recap here, 2023, 14 turnovers gained, 31 lost, minus 17. Big,
not good.
Huge fart noise. 2024, 17 turnovers gained, 19 turnovers lost, but it came down by 12.
Yeah.
All right. The bar was on the floor, but they cleared it. Minus 2, which was right about midway, same rank as their other 2 categories. In fact, smack dab in the middle. So 67th in turnovers gained, 73rd in turnovers lost, and smack dab in the middle, 71st in turnover margin last year. They weren't very explosive in any way, shape, or form. Basically, however many turnovers they got, for them on the defensive side, they gave back on the offensive side. And what do you know, Josh? Nebraska went 7-6 last season.
Funny how that works.
It is funny how that works. So about middle of the road. So what's a good bar to set this year? I am not confident. Like, I'm certainly not as confident as I was going into last year that things are going to change dramatically. But the idea is that Nebraska's defense gets a little bit more explosive this year. Maybe they're not quite as, big and stout against the run, especially goal line situations or third and shorts and stuff like that. But they are able to ball hawk a little bit more, be up in your face a little bit more. Maybe they leak more, or leak is a bad word. Maybe they, get beat over the top more, things like that. Maybe a little bit more susceptible to the big play. But maybe they grab more turnovers out of that. So 17 turnovers last year, gained 11 of them interceptions. I think it's fair to expect Nebraska to tick up in that category this year, just by the style of defense in which they're playing, if everything we've been hearing in fall camp is true. Offense, go ahead.
Yeah, obviously, if the plan is to get the ball out quicker,
You're talking about offensively?
Yeah, maybe you're not throwing into dangerous places.
Okay, so yeah, that's where we talk about the offensive side. So 19 turnovers lost last year, 12 interceptions, 11 of them by Raiola, and 7 fumbles lost, which is probably a hair too many on both accounts. But once again, it was 13-11 for Dylan last year. If it's 23-11, all of a sudden that doesn't seem that bad. And if you grab a few more on defense. So I don't know that I would expect the offense to turn it over less. I don't know if I could predict that it's going to be a significant drop off in that category. I think they'll be more crisp, and I think they'll have a better idea of kind of what they're doing. I think they'll have a better pace to them. They will also run more plays this year, right? So maybe what you gain in like efficiency from play to play, you lose in the fact that you actually run more plays, which gives you the ability to turn the football over more. That's what I always say, Josh, about quarterbacks. However many plays you run, just another chance to turn the ball over. That sounds like a Kirk Ferentz quote, actually. But they won't be quite as conservative, I don't think, on offense, especially for the first half of the season like they were last year. So the idea is these numbers obviously continue to trend in the right direction. Let's look at Rule's third years. All right.
I've heard they're good.
Have you?
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. Well, let's take a look and see if that's right. So in his third year at Temple, they forced 22 turnovers, which is 43rd in the country. Pretty good. But the year before that, in his second year, they had great turnover luck. They gained 30 turnovers, which is 11th in the country.
Hey.
But the offense was able to not be a leaky faucet for Rule in year 3 at Temple. 19 turnovers lost, exactly the number Nebraska had last year, compared to 27 the year before that. So they went from one of the worst teams in the country to like a little above average, which is basically, I mean, Nebraska was about average last year. They were +3 in year 3 at Temple. Year 3 at Baylor, this is where things really took off. They went to the Big 12 championship game. They won, 11 games that year.
People do not forget.
They gained 30 turnovers, which is a Rule career high. Second in the country in turnovers gained. This is the kind of stuff that you need in order for it to really pop. Like, if you want it to really go and you think Nebraska is going to win 10 this year, you probably think that turnover margin is going to be like, instead of, they were -17 last year, they were -2 last year. Instead of being like 0 or 1 or 2, they're going to have to be like 8, 9, 10, +8, 9, 10. They were +11 in his third year at Baylor, which took him all the way to the conference championship game after being -14 and -9 in his first 2 years. For reference, Nebraska over the last 11, 12 football seasons here. So I tracked it back to 2013 for some reason. I don't know why I didn't do 2011 since they've been in the Big Ten, but whatever.
Good year.
2013. Here are the margins by year. -11, -2, -12, +5 and 16, where they won 9 games. People forget that. -7, -2, 0, -11, -5, -3, -17, and -2. Those last 2 years being the Rule era, of course. So Nebraska as a school hasn't had much. I mean, they've sort of been all over the place, but mostly in the negative, with the highlights being -11 in 2013, which is amazing considering the games that team won. 15, -12, Riley's first year where they went 5-7, and then -11 in 2020, where they only played 8 games. So that sucks. Shout out to Scott Frost on that one. So it's a big thing. They're going to be in the margins. They're going to have close games. If you think they're going to be about even and be just as explosive as they were last year, yeah, you got a chance for 7 or 8 wins. If you go, the higher you keep bumping that number up, and Nebraska gets a couple bounces to go their way, and they protect the ball and they grab a few on defense. I mean, like when I think about the turnover margin and how thin it is, you're like -2 in the turnover category. But do you remember that one play when Nebraska, Bruns talked about it yesterday because he watched that USC game. the USC game where the pick went right through Malcolm Hartzog's hands and in the end zone for a touchdown.
That's right.
That's an interception that you could have had, right? And maybe it actually helps win you that game. That's just that's an anecdote that I think about.
Squeeze your hands together, it flips a lot, right?
Squeeze it like a mom at a little league baseball game. You gotta squeeze it. You gotta squeeze it. Sacks. Rule has also said that you have 40 sacks, you're gonna have 10 wins.
Yeah.
32 sacks in his first year, 30 sacks last year at Nebraska. Little more than about 2.3 a game last year. They also allowed 28 sacks. They were only +2 in the sack category. Nebraska had not been positive in the sack margin before Rule got here since 2016.
Yikes.
So Riley's last year, they were -10. And then Frost era, -3, -1, -3, -9, and -12 in 2022. Rule, this is another stat that he flips in year 3. +14 in the sack margin in his third year at Temple, and +8 in the sack margin in his third year at Baylor, when he had James Husker Lynch sacking people. 13.5 sacks in 2019 for the Baylor Bears. I have some third down numbers as well, but those are some deep cuts, and you guys are probably pretty annoyed by whoa, I'm just reading all these numbers to you, and you're
Just
like,
saying how they did.
Can I go to sleep now?
Oh.
Don't go to sleep. This is very important. We do important things on the show every day. Or we'll wake you up with some fine messages from our sponsors. That is before we have a chat with Chris Solari of the Detroit Free Press. Let's talk about Michigan State, the next team up on our summer school series.
Let's talk Tingle.
Coming up on 1620 The Zone. right, Friday afternoon of the Connor Happer Show here on 1620 The Zone and on 1620thezone.com. I find the Michigan State Spartans to be a fascinating team this year. Year one for Jonathan Smith at Michigan State. 5-7, started off the season relatively well, ran into some tough competition, got a nice win against Iowa, and then the offense sort of trailed off toward the end of the year. I'm curious how they're going to look. They are on Nebraska's schedule this season, coming up on October 4th in Lincoln. And we're now joined on the Prairie Flower Casino Zone Hotline by Chris Solari from the Detroit Free Press. Chris, thanks for doing this. What's going on?
Doing well, and glad to join you guys, and also looking forward to getting back out to Lincoln for a football game because it's been a minute since Michigan State's been out there.
I was going to say, how long is it? When was the last time now? Was it the snow game in 18?
I think it was the 6-3 epic game where I thankfully flew in and out of Omaha and luckily got upgraded to a Jeep by chance, and that drive back from Lincoln to Omaha was almost as bad as the game.
Well, I remember that game because that was in Frost's first year, and he was he was trying to get it going a little bit, and there was some curiosity as whether they could win a game like that, because the way that they wanted to play football and against a team like that. If I remember right, Michigan State was pretty solid that year, and they found a way to get it done in the snow. That may have been one of the best wins of the Scott Frost era, actually, now that I think about it.
Yeah, and I remember that snow coming in right around halftime or late in the game, and it altered everything. But that game was so cold from start to finish, and I believe it was Rocky Lombardi that started for Michigan State in that game at quarterback, and there were a bunch of drop passes. And he was asked after the game by one reporter. They said there were a bunch of drop passes. He said, "I didn't see any." And the reporter said, "Well, there was 11 or something along those lines." So, but yeah, that was the tail end of the Mark D'Antonio era as well. And so much has happened to this Michigan State program since, obviously, between D'Antonio retiring, Mel Tucker taking over and having that one great year and then falling off. And now Jonathan Smith grabbing the helm. And I think it is, you mentioned about last year. I mean, there were points last year where they looked like they had turned a bit of a corner, especially early in the year. And then, when it hit the teeth of Big Ten play, they didn't get a pass rush. They couldn't keep Aiden Childs upright on the offensive line. And those are the big keys this year. You got to generate something up front on both sides of the ball. And really, I think Childs and Nick Marsh can be dynamic playmakers if you can get protection.
What's the feeling right now in and around that program? Because when you end the season the way they did, losing 4 out of 5 and getting blasted by Rutgers in their final regular season game, like I don't know how that sits, or is it maybe, hey, year 2, we just keep kind of trusting the process here? How do they feel going into this season?
I think there's a wariness of hype coming out of the Tucker regime because a lot of what Mel Tucker was selling was hype and hope. And outside of the Kenneth Walker year, that's all they really had. And quite honestly, with the Kenneth Walker year, they only had Kenneth Walker. And you never say that one guy can lead to an 11-win season, but that was one of the outliers there. But I think one of the things as well is that Jonathan Smith is, I don't want to say he's not charismatic. I think there's just a feeling out process between the fan base and him and the coaching staff because they're used to defensive-minded coaches. And, they're used to the coaches who maybe coach with a little more emotion versus a guy like Smith who comes from the West Coast, that Pacific Northwest where he went to college. But more importantly, because he's a quarterback. I mean, he operates with a little different, I guess, calm and patience rather than raw emotion that I think you see sometimes when a quarterback is a head coach. I mean, you saw it some with Scott Frost, but Frost might have been a little bit different of a mind than Smith. I think Smith's just a cerebral guy that doesn't get too high, doesn't get too low. And, the energy I think that they're they're bringing right now to the fans is pretty organic. And it's kind of, if you know, you know, right? I mean, because you got to see the best and the worst of Aiden Childs last year in his first year as a starting quarterback, and the talent's there. Same with Nick Mark, the talent's there. I mean, so they know that they have talent. It's now, can you produce? Because, you know, after 4 years of hype and feeling like, oh, we're going to compete for national titles without any merit, they got to build back to that. And they got to build that trust within their own fan base.
What do they want to be under Jonathan Smith? How do they want to win games? What's the best path to do that for Jonathan Smith's Michigan State program?
Well, I think he's an offensive guy, but I think one of the shrewdest moves that he made was understanding the Big Ten, you can't win without a strong defense, and going out and getting a guy who was a coordinator in the Big Ten at Minnesota with Joe Rossi. And not only that, but Rossi knows the Midwest. He's a Pittsburgh guy who cut his teeth in a lot of those Midwest towns that much of this coaching staff hasn't. I mean, this is all West Coast staff, so they're kind of all learning a little bit about the difference of Big Ten football, but Rossi brought it with him. But I do think ultimately it comes down to the offense being dynamic. You saw it at Oregon State, the turnaround that he made there. I think he inherited a team that won like 1 or 2 games and struggled for 2 years, but then took flight. I think that's what they want to do. They want to be an offense that can run the ball first to set up the pass, but also be able to throw the ball downfield. That's why you got a guy like Childs who's got a big arm and has a dynamic ability to run and create with his legs. So I do think that, and now that said, you look at what they've done in terms of bringing in additions. They went out to try and bolster their offensive line because they know to run the ball and to keep Childs' dynamicism as a strength, they need to be able to block. And that's Big Ten football, right? So I think there's an adaptability that Smith has shown, but it's ultimately going to come down to an offensive-minded coach winning with his offense.
With all that being said, what the things that surround Childs, I think he's one of the more, intriguing kind of wild card type of quarterbacks in the league, where if he's really good and he has really good play, then that could elevate Michigan State a level. With that being said, the schedule is difficult, and we'll talk about that in a second. But what was it from him last year that they felt like needs to get better, and what might 2025 look like for Childs?
Yeah, I think it's just like with all first-time starting quarterbacks, it's decision-making. And you saw towards the end of the year, I mean, he cut the turnovers, and that was a big problem through the first 7 or 8 games. In the last 5 or 6, he minimized his turnovers. But at the same point, it was also maybe a little bit to the detriment of some of his ability to make some plays with his arm. So I think that just comes naturally. The more you're, I guess, reading defenses on the hot seat back there, I think that's what they expect the next growth. And I think he's a young kid. I mean, he's barely 20 years old, and he's going to be in his 3rd year of college football. I mean, he got to Oregon State at 17, right? So last year he was mostly an 18-year-old starter. So that's going to be, I think, just the experience level there, knowing when to fit the ball into windows with his arm and when to throw it away. He's talked a lot about, and also the ability to create with his legs in the run game, because he's shown that he can get out and move, but he also needs to do that within the structure of the offense.
When I think about Michigan State, Chris, I think about, obviously really solid quarterback play. They've had a ton of it over the years, and really dynamic running back play. We've already talked about Kenneth Walker. Nebraska was a victim to Kenneth Walker, plus a little bit plus their own undoing, I suppose, in 2021 when they visited Michigan State. Is Elijah Tautoliver that guy for this offense, or is it more going to be geared toward Nick Marsh, who's made a lot of noise as an outside receiver here in preseason camp?
Yeah, I think they, in talking to the guys yesterday, we talked to all the running backs. I mean, they want to be a run-first team, and that's why a lot of those guys who come to play for Brian Legren's offense and Keith Bonifaz, the running backs coach, I think don't sleep. I mean, they brought in in Tal Tolliver, but I don't think you should sleep on the two guys they brought in with them from Oregon State as not transfers, but decommits that flipped in Mekhi Frazier and Brandon Tullis, two kids from Texas who kind of have complementary styles. They've known each other since they were kids. But, you know, one is a little more thunder with Tullis being a big body guy and Frazier being a little more electric. They also managed to, I guess, keep and flip back Chase Clarizio, an East Lansing kid who had committed to MSU, then decommitted and committed to Alabama, and then flipped back to Michigan State late. They love his playmaking ability. So I think and that's their key right now in camp, is figuring out one of those guys, because to set up Nick Marsh, you've got to be able to do that. Nick Marsh, he had that big game against Maryland week 2 last year, one of the national receivers of the year, or one of the national receiver of the week. He had like 197 yards, and I think he had a big game against Iowa, but other teams noticed that. And he and Jack Velling were their only 2 receivers, really, that they had. So I think you've got to be able to establish the run to make Nick Marsh work, right? And you got to also get better play from your secondary receivers, and they brought in some transfers with Krishan McCray and Omari Kelly from lower division schools to kind of bolster that. And I think that will definitely help a lot, both with the run game and getting Nick Marsh open.
Schedule, as it is for most teams in the Big Ten, is a challenge. But leading into that Nebraska game, it's the first 4 for Michigan State. Western Michigan at home. They host Boston College, who Nebraska just played in the bowl game, Youngstown State, and then they go to USC before having a bye week, and then come to Lincoln. And then it's tricky after that. There's Penn State on the schedule, there's Michigan on the schedule, there's Indiana on the schedule. You got to make a return trip to Iowa this year. What is the mentality, knowing the ups and downs of a Big Ten schedule and what you have to be on a weekly basis in this league?
Yeah, they saw it last year that, they won the first 2 games and they looked better. And obviously getting that Maryland win was big. And then they go to Boston College, have a chance to go 3-0, and the last 91 seconds blew it. So that's a game that they have circled. Childs especially has circled, because they felt they could have won that game and got to a bowl game a year ago. I think the first 4 games this year are equally as important, especially that USC game. That's a homecoming game for Childs out to LA. So when they do get to Nebraska, I think you're going to have a better idea of what this team is, but also what the ultimate goals are. I mean, is it going to be playing for something bigger, or is it just to get to that bowl game for the first time since 2021? But that Nebraska game is a big pivot game, I think, for them as well in their schedule, because if you go into it 3-1 or maybe 4-0, now you're looking at already having a good chunk of your bowl resume established. So that's a game that I'm not sleeping on, and that's a tough environment. That's a tough environment, as everybody has seen anytime Michigan State goes out there, all the way back to the time when I believe Christian Peter left the corpse of Gus Ornstein imprint at center field at Memorial Stadium. So it's still there, I think. I'm pretty sure I saw a snow angel-like figure there the last time I was there, and it looked like Gus Ornstein.
They all shook hands, and what was the line that Osborne had? It was, you guys are better than you think you are, or something like that. after the game. Yeah, pretty good. All right, Chris Solari, the Detroit Free Press. Chris, thanks for doing this. Appreciate it. And don't worry, the countdown's on for you to make the return trip to Lincoln. Less than 2 months.
Yeah, let's catch up again before that.
Sounds good. Thanks.
All right, be well, guys.
Chris Solari, Detroit Free Press, who loves Lincoln.
Who doesn't?
Maybe it'll be snowing for him again when he comes back on October 4th.
Feels
now
early for some snow.
Would be a nightmare.
It would.
It'll probably be 98 that day.
So angry.
Actually, there's no in between. It'll either be 93 and incredibly windy, or it'll be, 12.
I would take the 90.
You'd prefer the 90 over the 12? Yeah, I probably would as well. I don't know. It'll probably be fine. Maybe that'll be our 1 week of fall that we have in Lincoln. Or in Omaha /Lincoln.
Only have 1 week now.
That game, What is it about these two teams? I'm going to pull up the page here. Because there's been some really memorable, fun games. And I just feel like this one's going to be the same thing between these two teams. So the last time they met was in 21, which was the game where I don't believe Michigan State had a first down for the first 3 quarters. But remember, they give up the punt return, and Adrian broke his jaw.
Yeah.
And Logan Smothers came in, and Nebraska just couldn't do anything on offense, punt return. Oh, but they played in 23. They played in Rule's first year in East Lansing. That's right. And that was coming off of the long. Nebraska had won 4 games in a row, and they blew that. I think Harburg threw a pick. That was an unmemorable game because I just forgot about it. 21 game disaster. 9-6 game Frost first year, snow. 15, Brandon Riley. Michigan State goes to the playoff anyway. 2014. No. Oh, they had a shot late. I think it was to Alonzo Moore, and maybe they thought he was interfered with in the end zone, and it went a little bit deep over his head. That was in 14. 13, they won here. I remember that game. It was a night game. That may have still been Le'Veon Bell territory. 12, Nebraska won late in East Lansing, right? They Jamal Turner catches it on the sideline. Mike Schaefer almost gets run over.
Oh my goodness.
2011, 24-3, Kirk Cousins comes here. They're ranked in the top 25. Nebraska come off that loss to Northwestern, and they just slap them. 11 a.m. game. It was cold. And then that's all their games in the Big Ten. They're all kind of memorable. I don't know why I remember them. Maybe nobody else remembers them, but I do. Josh is sitting like there. He's like, yeah, I believe you.
I remember when Michigan State was a playoff team and Nebraska beat them. And I remember when Michigan State got no first downs, but a very good punt return.
Yeah. Placat says that guy was a good guess. Solid get, Josh. Or solid guess, good get. Nice get, Josh.
And he didn't laugh at my green texts.
No. And he said, thanks for having me. And Josh said, thanks for doing it. And then they just thanked each other for 5 minutes.
There's a lot of appreciating going on.
All right, we're back to round out the hour. Sipple joins at 1.
Sipple
coming up on 1620 The Zone.
The Connor Happer Show. Follow us on Twitter @Happer Show for all the latest news and views. We may even say something interesting once in a while.
Unlikely.
Really, guys? Let's get back to the Connor Happer Show on 1620 The Zone.
Here comes the clown.
Yeah, thank you for notifying me. The latest Matt Rule video has dropped.
We got another walk and talk?
He's not walking much. He's talking with the guy that he invites in to barbecue every year. Jack is his name. Matt Rule wearing he was wearing the shirt that he wore when he was hanging out with the cow. The long,
think they filmed it on the same day?
No.
Or he wore the shirt again?
No, I think he wore it again.
Whoa.
Yeah. But it was at Rule's house, which is a nice house.
All right. Where do I
don't know. I saw it on Instagrams.
Instagram.
But somebody told me that it dropped, so it just popped up for me. You know how, Josh, do you know how Instagram works? Instagram.
Kind of.
So they don't it doesn't give you, nothing is in order.
That's right.
It could give you anything at any moment.
It could be something from 11 weeks ago.
Correct.
Or 7 minutes ago.
Correct. I just want to look at the posts in order and see what I haven't seen yet. But no, it's just we're going to show you whatever the hell you want. It actually doesn't matter who you follow at all. We're just going to show you what you think you want, which is dumb. But it worked for me in that case.
Yeah, he's barbecuing with this guy.
Yeah, he's cooking him up. He said Sierra Wright was giving his son Bryant the business in NCAA football.
The actor?
Sierra Wright the actor, not Bryant Rule the actor, but Sierra Wright the actor. Yes.
Huh.
Yeah.
So who is? Forgive my ignorance.
I don't know him.
Jack Arnold.
He keeps coming in and cooking every year. Every year they do a video with him and he's cooking.
Is he a cook?
He must be a TikTok chef or something.
Jack Arnold? No, not the director from 1912.
Nope. Not. You're going to want to check on the other one.
Luxury barbecue and live fire event host.
That's what I'm talking about.
Okay.
I think that's the guy you're looking for.
That sounds about right.
By the way, so let me know what you think about that one, Josh. You had a couple comments from YouTube going back to Michigan State. So, yeah, Mason Daniel writes in, it was the lupus game. I said broken jaw. I'm sorry. I meant lupus.
That's right.
Get
your facts right.
It was lupus.
Media always passing around fake news.
And then Jacob Bigelow checks in the chat.
What up, Biggie?
It's a very interesting question, something I hadn't thought about. Does the aesthetically pleasing color matchup add to making it more memorable?
Red-green, little Christmas action?
I was thinking, I hadn't thought about that. It's possible because I am a visual guy. But I think it's more of Michigan State. Would you be surprised knowing not much, only what Chris just told us about them as a team and what I've said? Would you be surprised if they just randomly popped off this year? They're the kind of program that has just found itself in weirdly big moments over the last 10, 15 years. And a lot of that was with Antonio, obviously, but I don't know. I just feel like they're a program that sort of gets a lot out of what they are. And I like Jonathan Smith as a head coach. That's why I asked the question about what do they want to be? And I have pretty high hopes for Childs this year because I think there's been a lot of quarterbacks that have succeeded in his offenses. So I'm excited to see what that looks like. But it could be just green versus red, and I like colors. I like colors.
What do you think when Michigan State pulls out the black? You for it or against it?
They've had some really ass alternate jerseys.
Yeah.
They had those green.
I mean, we know.
Do you remember those green highlighter?
Yeah.
Ugh, with a big state. Those were horrific. The black, it feels like it works for them for some reason. I'd rather them wear green, but it feels like it works for them.
I just pulled up the highlighter green ones just because I wanted to.
I
forgot how big State was. I remember it being a color green that isn't in their color wheel. I forgot how big it was.
That may have been the worst thing that Nike has ever done.
Wow.
And they made them highlighter jerseys for Michigan State basketball too, which is you would think that Izzo would be like, no, thank you.
We don't need that.
But
I won a national title in 2000. Remember Mateen Cleaves?
Have you? Do you remember Mateen Cleaves? All right, a couple minutes before we talk to Sipple here. We've been teasing this all week, so I figured we'd get to it. Las Vegas, a city that I love, Josh.
You do.
It's apparently dying. Only 3.1 million people visited Las Vegas in June, down 11.3% compared to 2024. Social media users have called out the high prices of everything from dining to parking, citing these and other reasons for staying away. By the way, who parks in Vegas? Don't park.
I've literally never thought of that.
Don't bring a car to Las Vegas. That is ridiculous. What if I'm driving from LA? Don't. They have 40 flights a day. Get an Uber to the hotel and never leave it. That's how you go to Vegas, or walk to the next place.
Land your plane on the strip like in Con Air.
But there are people, experts on the subject, who are saying that it's because of the young people. A quote from Robbie Starbuck, conservative activist and host of the Robbie Starbuck Show.
Look,
this is a great source.
I'm going to peel back the curtain a little bit.
You didn't know what was going to happen?
I have no idea where this story is going. Some people in media use their real name. My real name is Josh Otson. Connor's real name is Connor Happer. Other people, there's various weathermen out there who are not using their real name.
This guy's real name is Robbie Starbuck.
That's 100% a fake ass name.
No. He's Robbie Starbuck.
I'm Robbie Starbuck.
Quote, now nearly everyone under 40 who bets seems to do it online. I don't know one person under 40 who goes to Vegas regularly to bet or to play slots.
I thought it was because the youngs don't like to do anything fun or risky. Like they don't drink, they don't have sex, they don't do anything.
Whoa,
they don't talk to
they
people.
Don't?
Yeah.
That's weird. I didn't know about that. No, it's apparently they like to bet on their.
They don't need to go.
They like to play slots on their phones, which is not true. I should meet Robbie Starbuck. I'm under 40 and I love going to Vegas and gambling.
Well, you're an old man at heart.
This trend will continue with younger people because honestly, our minds are wired differently. People always say that. The U.S. online gambling market in 2024 is estimated at $12.68 billion. Tom Reed, Caesars Entertainment CEO, said it would be a soft summer on a recent earnings call. Sounds like the time to buy low on Vegas, if you're asking me.
Yeah, they're going to have a baseball team there.
If you have
very much so.
If you have any points to go to, just tune them up right now because they're giving you comp nights all over the place. Sounds like my heaven. So my take on this, Josh, is actually I love this.
A little more elbow room.
I want Vegas to keep dying.
Maybe some room at the tables.
I want Vegas to keep dying so that hotels will continue to invite me back for free.
Plat Cat in the chat. You mean me going to Circa and getting comped drinks, not leaving Fremont Street except for Mega NIL tournament isn't saving Vegas?
That's what I say, Plat Cat. Apparently we're killing Vegas, which I'm fine with. I hope Vegas continues to die if this is the trend.
Chris in the chat. I'm an old Gen Z visiting Vegas over Labor Day. # breaking the mold.
I get a tweet like 3 times a year from Fremont Fred, who's like, yeah, I just won a bunch of money on the slots over at Old Town. I'm like, okay, hell yeah. I'll see you there. So let's call them millennials, youths, Gen Z, both A and B. You guys are doing great. Keep doing exactly what you're doing.
Stay the hell away.
Yep. I'll take
Stay
Vegas.
in your rooms.
Back after this was Steve Sipple from HuskerOnline.com on the Connor Happer Show on 1620 The Zone. I kind of had a feeling that it might be a little tricky today. There's a lot going on.
Busy day.
Yeah, there's a lot going on over there at Stadium Drive. So what'll happen is I'll get a text from Sipple in about 5 to 8 minutes, and he'll say, "Sorry, I'm good now." And then we'll be in a pickle about, do we call him now just during this segment, or we take a break? We don't have very much time, so we have to figure that out. So expect me to begin to pull my non-existent hair out here momentarily. But I get it. These fine journalists. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Hold on. A text from Steve Sipple. Okay. All right. Nothing. He says, no go.
It's a no. Wow.
No go. I am sorry. Messed up sked today because of Dannen.
Yeah. It was going to be a ultra rare 4-guest Friday.
No. Yeah. And then we got sacked with 2.
Thanks, Dannen.
50% conversion rate.
I hate this guy.
Can you believe that? Dannen screwing everything up.
Yeah.
And then they had some post-practice availability as well. So why don't we get into some of the other things that Dannen, Mr. Yogurt, had to say today then?
Dannen?
What do we want to know about? Like, because we did the stadium stuff earlier. I think that's probably good.
I got one.
What do you want to know about, Jeff?
Okay, so I'm trying to put myself in the position of like guy at work right now or guy in the car right now.
Yeah, what do they want to know about?
Like, okay, we always hear about how healthy the athletic program is. What's this economic crisis at the university now, Connor?
What is it?
Well, yeah. Why are they pretending to be poor right now?
It's not at the athletic department. It's at the university. I have no idea. I don't know why they have less money than somebody would have to enforce. Is their enrollment down? Are they spending? I have no idea. I don't know why the university hits budget shortfalls. I have no idea. And guess what?
What was the term they used? Economic crisis?
Something like that. That's not the word you
always tout how healthy your books are.
No, they tout how healthy their books are.
Yes.
Their books are.
And,
remember, they give back to the university, or they used to. I don't know. They probably won't anymore. They gave back to the university from their surplus, like $1 million every year or something like that. The university is like, awesome.
And
cool. Usually we have to give our athletic department's money, not in this case.
Guy who's working in their office right now, guy who's in their car right now might not know that the athletic department's books are good.
That's good. That's good. However, Dannen did say today that Nebraska eliminated 22 positions within his athletic department to help cover the $20.5 million revenue share expense. That saved about $2 to $3 million. They also
are you happy that's what you were asking for?
Yeah,
you're asking for some people to
lose their
handed
jobs,
some bankers boxes,
homeless out on the street. They also, quote, reprioritized our expenses, putting rev share as the, quote, priority over most everything else. One detail that I found interesting as far as the revenue sharing stuff is concerned. So is that a satisfactory answer on the whole budget thing?
Oh, yeah.
Like Nebraska as an athletic department, they're good. They just don't want to do the stadium improvements in the climate, right? It would look, I know this isn't a great reason, but this is how politics work, right? Like, it just doesn't look good. It's optics. It just doesn't look good to undergo a $600 million at least project while the athletic or the university proper is losing $30 million a year. That's all.
Yeah.
And I don't know if they could have funded the money anyway. I'm sure part of this is they're going to have to ask for some, right? It's not, they can't fund it. They got to fund their own athletic department. They can't fund a $700, $600, $700, $800, $900 million project on their own dime. You can't. There's not enough money in the world for that. So you got to get it from the state and from the university, and you need all the help that you can get to do a thing like that. And it helps out everybody in the long run, but right now you got to pay for it. So, yeah. they're not doing it. I was reading from John Walker yesterday. He went and covered the Big Red Breakfast, which is still a thing.
Many people were quick to point out, still a thing.
Michael Severe was the host of the Big Red Breakfast.
What a great host.
Have you heard? He is a host of things. We love Michael when he hosts.
And perfect Severe Reaction will be back on your radio some Sunday morning very soon.
Also, I forgot to text this to Severe last night. On my college football dynasty, I won the Jet Award last night.
Let's go.
I should have tweeted it out immediately.
Yeah.
I won the Jet Award. I'm in year 2 at UCF.
UCF, you frost lover.
I knew you would hate that. So here's what I did, though. Here's what I did. Not to get too sidetracked here. I created I am myself. I am the coach at UCF.
Connor Happer.
So I put Scott Frost out on the streets.
Wow. Think of his family that we can't talk about.
And guess what he went and did? So Scott Frost becomes a free agent.
Oh no.
And so after one year, he went and got the head coach job at Missouri.
Turncoat.
And I believe he was fired.
Oh no.
After year 2, or the second year of my dynasty. Wow. The first year at Missouri. Well, I'll check back on that later tonight. But I won the Jet Award, and Michael was not in the game to present it to me, but the Jet Award is right there. I'll show you on my camera right now.
What? You can do that?
Well, I took a picture of it.
Okay.
Here it is. Oh, you see it?
What's this gentleman's name?
Well, there we go. There is a Tavion Swint.
Swint,
Mr. Swint.
Jet Award. That's really cool, actually.
So how could you say that I love Scott Frost when I booted his ass out?
You did put him on the street.
I put him on the street, and I moved him to Columbia.
That would be so awkward
if he took the job in Missouri. Like, do you think if Frost has success at UCF that he just stays there forever?
Yes.
Okay. But what if he ended up back in what if he took a job at UCLA or something like that? He can stay quiet there. The weather's great. I heard LA is a great place to raise a family. Isn't it? Isn't that what they say about LA?
I've heard.
Number 1 best place to raise a family. It's like LA and then Omaha. I don't think he's probably leaving. Anyway, Big Red Breakfast, still a thing. Michael does a great job. He's the hostess with the mostest. So Walker John wrote this before Dannen's quote that he had at the breakfast yesterday. Each sport program got a number from Dannen as far as rev share is concerned. And from there, it was the coach's job to decide how that was divvied up among their roster, similar to splitting up scholarships back in the day. Dannen said, quote, "I've actually been surprised by how much we've distributed. I thought we would give more to fewer. We've given fewer to more."
I saw soccer and track were listed as some programs. Give us some cash.
Yeah, because there was a couple programs that had to add scholarships. And that comes out of the 20.5.
That's why the wording on it was weird. It wasn't, hey, we're using the 20.5 for track and soccer.
Yeah, there was a couple that had to add scholarships, and that came out of the 20.5. Just because their numbers didn't meet what the numbers said you could get to. So there is that piece of it. And then Dannen said today, he said Nebraska had submitted. So with that, obviously the NIL thing becomes. Dannen seemed to say today that the NIL is dead. Like,
seemed like you said that without saying it.
The
right?
clearinghouse, they said they submitted 39 deals to the clearinghouse so far, and 20 of them were approved. They're waiting rulings on 4 others. He said that those deals ranged from $600, which is the minimum for it has to go through the clearinghouse, to $40,000. But remember, it goes through that clearinghouse, and it has to be proven in some way, shape, or form. I'd like to know the details on that, but it has to be proven in some way, shape, or form that this is a name, image, and likeness deal. That this is not an enticement for pay for play. That this is not like just money to be here. This is, I am a brand and I want to work with the athlete because I think the athlete would be a good marketing tool for my product. So he said the biggest deal was 40 grand that got passed, and there was 3 of them out of the 20 that went through that were over 35 grand. But NIL, as you knew it, has died. I know there were some people that were skeptical of that. Notably the one anonymous source in the Athletic article a couple months ago saying bleep Deloitte, which was sort of funny. But yeah, I mean, it's so far they're playing it pretty close to the vest, but there's this revenue sharing money. But I thought the quote was interesting in that I don't know how other athletic departments do it. There's obviously no standard on this, so you're making up the book on it as you go. But Dannen and his team, the university, assign a dollar amount to each program, and then that coach of that program decides how to divvy out the money that he or she gets. So if football gets 15 million, it's up to Rule to pay the 15 million, divvy it out however he sees fit, which is sort of fascinating. I mean, because then and I would imagine this goes into the general manager chair and all the other, support staff people that he's had. Like, they have to negotiate with players on their own roster, and they only have a certain pool to work with.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was from this quarterback show that they were doing. I saw a clip the other day, and it was Brian Kelly. Brian Kelly was in his car. He was driving down the road, his nice fancy car, and he gets a call from his agent. His agent is also one of his players' agents.
Oh.
And he's essentially, I mean, it's not that they're negotiating against each other,
Mm-hmm.
but kind of they are, right? Because the player wants more money.
Sure.
And
like, well,
and the coach says, look, this is all we got. We can't do anything more, or this is not the idea that I had, that I had set up for you. It's fascinating. It's really, really interesting. And so I don't know that it's necessarily Rule specifically that is assigning these values. Like I said, that's probably a job for I forget his name, the guy that they hired as the GM from the Patriots. But he probably is the top of the food chain in that regard. But as Dannen said yesterday, I thought we would give more to fewer. We've given fewer to more. Meaning, I don't know what the number is. I wonder what Dannen would say to this, but like, how many people do you think in that athletic department, student athletes, are getting paid from revenue share? $20.5 million. Football's probably getting, let's just ballpark it at 15 just to, be square. How many people get $15 million from the Nebraska football? Does everybody get some and then 5 people get more?
Whoa.
Or is it like all of it goes to 15? All of it goes to starters? Is there a tier system? Like, if you are, is there a bonus pool?
Oh,
I wonder if that's the case. You could do that.
And who's the first coach that's really gonna? Here is the breakdown of how we are paying people.
Nobody.
Yeah.
Nobody will ever say that. But guess what? The players will find out fast.
Yeah.
Because the players go in a transfer portal and they talk to each other on Instagram anyway, on Snapchat.
Here's my playbook. What are you making?
Yeah, that's right. Here's my playbook guy from Memphis. But yeah,
it really wasn't the story that I thought it was going to be. By the way,
no. It does bring in a whole extra level. I was pretty, when NIL got introduced and people were like, hey, this is going to be a problem in the locker room. And I'm like, come on. guys make more than guys all the time. Like, if you can't just put that aside, then I don't know what to tell you.
Happens in NFL locker room. Every NFL locker room.
It happens in life. You know, everybody around you makes a different amount of money than what you make, and everyone always thinks that they're the best at their job, right? So,
you knew I was going to say something.
I did, and I couldn't power through it, unfortunately for me. But it happens, right? So I was just like, come on, guys. Like, this is you're being a worrywart. This is fear mongering. Like, everything is going to be okay. I mean, this is when you involve the coach, you involve the athletic department, and then it's, teammates and feelings on top of that. I would imagine that, I mean, I don't know how many people Nebraska's money is getting spread out over. But like I said, if there's only 15 or 20 guys in the team who are making any sort of money, then I don't know what that looks like. Does it, if you got the right group, then maybe it provides motivation for people who aren't in the money to be in the money. I'm going to get my money at some point. Maybe that's a trend that we see in college football, that it's only, now this is a utopian world for college football, but maybe only the guys who produce and deserve it make the money. But that would never happen because these teams have to go out and
how do I
recruit
get
these
there?
players. And somebody somewhere,
Spending that money.
exactly, Dion, somebody somewhere is going to go offer them, $1 million to play there.
Texas Tech,
Like,
probably.
it's going to be Texas Tech. Yes. Have you ever heard of oil? So yeah, I'm interested to see if anybody else dives into those dynamics as we continue on throughout the year. Nebraska also replaced its big screen on the north end of Memorial Stadium. And as Gary mentioned earlier, they have a $20 million agreement in place with Verizon to help improve in-stadium cellular service. He also added that Nebraska would not focus on improving the stadium's Wi-Fi until after the stadium renovations are completed. So for those of you who are trying to sit in Memorial Stadium and also stream 6 games on your phone at once, you are still SOL. But you might be able to call somebody.
Oh.
We might be able to get you back to about 1994.
Could I get a tweet out?
It's possible that you could get a tweet out now.
Okay.
I'm not going to rule out that you could get a tweet out. Some people still get tweets out.
Trying to post a photo on the gram.
Yeah. I bet you could get some photos up on the gram for Memorial Stadium now, which is a great win for Memorial Stadium.
Which, by the way, if you see, I know, Connor, you're going to be at Memorial Stadium for some of these games.
Maybe.
If you see Connor Happer milling about Memorial Stadium, please ask him to flick you up.
I will take a picture of you. Yeah.
Yo, bro, flick me up.
I don't want to be in your picture. I don't want to be in your, I don't think it does you any good for
It's
me
not
to be
about
in a
you,
picture.
Connor. Just flick them up.
That's what I'm saying. I'll flick them up, but I'm just saying people ask me sometimes if I want to be in a picture, and I'm like, what is this going to do for you?
Clout.
Are you really going to put it on IG?
Mm-hmm.
It's cool. Works for me. Works for me. Yeah, I'll flick you up anytime. I'm happy to take your pictures. All right, we're back after this. We still like to thank Steve Sipple for communicating with us.
Absolutely.
Because he genuinely feels bad.
No hard feelings.
He genuinely feels bad when he can't come on the show.
He's a hardworking man.
He is. Back after this on 1620 The Zone. Now, I haven't been informed that you're out of time here, so I'm going to assume you're not out of time for the zone deal.
I believe we still got some around.
Okay, good.
Lying in the back somewhere.
$40 voucher to Exarban Cinema ACX. 4 $10 vouchers. Each voucher good for one movie admission for just $20. That's a $40 value, folks. Good for 4 admissions to either ACX Cinema locations, whether it be Exarban or Elkhorn. Josh and whoever he's hosting with this afternoon. Stibbs, because he watched the weird movie. They will have some to give away this afternoon, and you can find more details online on our website, 1620thezone.com. An email from the Equitable Bank inbox.
Oh,
from John.
Hi, John.
Subject line: cell service. Nebraska had to do something about the cell service in Memorial Stadium. With alcohol now being served, people are going to have to be able to report the 40,000 belligerently drunk fans to security every Saturday.
Yeah,
that is true. Have we talked about enough how Memorial Stadium is just going to be basically a,
it's gonna be the Wild Wild West.
It'll be like Lollapalooza.
Yeah.
Be no rules in there. I'll be drinking and doing drugs all over the place.
Really, the end of days in Lincoln.
Just completely changes everything.
Yeah. Drinking?
Yeah.
In public?
Yep. And it costs a lot of money to do so, too.
I've seen the photo, yes.
Somewhere in between $12 and $17. I was reading a story from ESPN this morning. They put all of the team. So remember when the Athletic put all of the quarterbacks into tiers and then they ranked all of them?
That's right.
That's a good list. How about all the teams? All right. So usually I wouldn't click on this because I think we're past this season. But I just wanted to see. I didn't have much to talk about today. I wanted to see what was going on right now. So this isn't necessarily in order. As you know from me, I like to do power rankings with tiers.
That's right.
Because, a lot of lists give you one or the other, but not a lot gives you both. And it's difficult. It's more difficult to put them in tiers if you're ordering them correctly. In this case, David Hale from ESPN does not put them in any sort of order. He just groups teams together in tiers. So I'm curious, what is the sort of overarching point about Nebraska? What does their flag say on it about them this year? For example, there are teams that are, quote, so hot right now in Tier 5.
Oh, okay.
Like college football playoff picks. Illinois, Louisville, Texas Tech, and Utah. There is teams flying beneath the radar like Tom Cruise and Maverick. That's literally what it says.
You're very familiar with this reference.
Well, I know about Top Gun, so I get it. Georgia Tech, Iowa, Kansas, Minnesota, Washington. Regression to the mean.
Oh, no.
BYU, Duke, Missouri, Syracuse, Vanderbilt. Progression to the mean. Auburn, Florida State, NC State, Virginia Tech. And then there's Tier 10A, like Gen ZA or Gen ZB.
All these had good names, and now I don't
No,
know.
Tier 10A has a name.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
The Big Ten's ticking clocks. What does that mean to you, Josh?
But to awake a sleeping giant?
Oh, you think it's going to blow up like in a positive way?
Yeah.
Well, when I think ticking clock, I think it's about to explode in a negative way. That's what I think. And then you look at the teams that Nebraska is grouped with. There's 2 other teams. They're both from the Big Ten because the Big Ten's ticking clocks. I don't know if I want to be grouped along with USC and Wisconsin right now. I definitely don't want to be grouped along with Wisconsin.
No. Oh, no.
Keep me far away from them. USC, maybe. Wisconsin, do not put me in their category.
Stay away.
So here's what it says. Matt Rule, Lincoln Riley, Luke Fickell, each seemed like absolute home run coaching hires, setting aside Riley's 11-1 start to his tenure at USC. The 3 are now combined 40-39 overall with a 23-32 Big Ten record since December 1st, 2022. That's 2 seasons of each plus 1 game, I guess, because Riley was the only person that was still around, that was around by then. So he probably played a bowl game that year. That has put all 3 in a position to make 2025 a must-win year. What exactly winning means probably differs a bit by school, but the pressure is on. Nebraska might be the best equipped to make the leap to the next level.
Hello.
Dylan Raiola goes into year 2 running the offense, but it'll be his first full season with Dana Holgerson calling the plays. Add in that, at some point, Nebraska's run of awful luck in close games has to swing the other way.
It has to.
It has to. People are saying this. And it's not unfathomable that the Huskers are in the mix for a playoff spot. So clearly, the feeling is that, all right, we could group these teams together, but keep Nebraska a little bit. Keep Nebraska a little bit above them. I'm curious. I mean, USC's on the schedule this year. I don't know who. I don't like when you see that game on the schedule. We're going to do the Chunkies next week. When you see USC on the schedule, what do you chalk it up as? Just the gut feeling in your head. It's a home game. I don't have an answer to that question.
I think it's got to play really well to win. I don't know. Because I think they probably have to play really well to win too. I genuinely don't know. They're talented. Going to come down to a fourth quarter turnover.
Probably will come down to. I mean, those two teams played a idiotic game last year, as we talked about yesterday with Brunts. Like, I don't have an answer what to do with that game. Like, if I'm going game by game and I'm looking at like win, loss, win, I don't know what to do with USC. That's maybe the one on the schedule. Maybe them and I don't know, Michigan. I guess I'm just like, I don't know what to do with this. These are huge toss-up games. The other ones, I guess I have a pretty solid idea of what's gonna, what I would pick at this moment. USC's a mystery to me.
But we've also we haven't really had the conversation of, hey, we think Nebraska's going to be in a lot of one-score games. We think they're going to win some of them.
Mm-hmm.
What if
they win all of them?
What if they don't win any of them?
What if they don't win any of them?
And this thing kind of goes off the rails a little bit.
That's in the cards.
That seat gets hot.
That if you that could be a hand that is dealt this year. It's in the shoe, Josh.
What does Dylon do if it doesn't pop off?
You want to split the deck?
I do not want to.
Do you want to? Well, I whenever I'm at the blackjack table, I don't like to split the deck. I like somebody else to do it because everyone all gets all giddy about splitting the deck.
Mm-hmm.
Let me split the deck.
Yeah, I don't care.
But whatever, I mean, that's in the cards somewhere. That's in the deck.
It's a possible scenario.
They say for Wisconsin, it's a return to the Badgers' foundations as Fickle has abandoned plans to bring an up-tempo passing attack to the stodgy Big Ten, and we'll build around the ground game. We'll see how that one goes. Yeah, how dare you, David Hale. And then what he writes about USC is, at USC, Riley lost a ton of big-time talent. In the portal, will move forward with a quarterback who has 19 touchdowns and 17 turnovers and 9 career starts against teams with a winning record. That's what I always say about Jaden Mayava. And that's probably what Scott Wolf will say about Jaden Mayava in 6 days. He says they can't all turn it around this year, which makes this perhaps the most interesting portion of the Big Ten's standings.
Oh,
I would take Wisconsin out. Like, maybe replace him with somebody else. Replace him with UCLA.
Yeah, I
kind
of see the trajectory that Wisconsin is on right now.
If the Gen Zs want to be Gen Z A and Gen Z B, then we can split up the middle tier of the Big Ten to middle tier A and middle tier B, and
MTA, MTB,
MTB, and I don't know which one Nebraska, USC, or UCLA are going to be in.
Yeah,
I don't have any idea. I have a pretty good idea that Michigan is in MTA. I'm pretty sure Illinois is going to be an MTA. I'm pretty sure Minnesota is going to be MTB.
Michigan State, how's that tingle?
Put them in the middle. Put them in the middle with the Cali boys in Nebraska.
Okay.
But yeah, it's that'll be an interesting one. By the way, I got a couple comments from before regarding drunkenness. at the
Yes.
stadium. Sam writes in.
Hi, Sam.
Got a lot of Sams who listen. I like this.
Is Sam the new Mike?
Imagine the Reds for the Miami game, but inside the stadium. Are you saying the guy with the skateboard will be doing tricks on the skateboard inside the stadium for every game this year? That was a hell of a day, Josh.
A lot of good stories from that day.
It was just a young man who wanted to partake. That's all. I was of age.
Okay.
I was of age.
That's all that matters, I guess.
2014.
Good game. It was a fun game watching from afar.
That was more fun when you were not afar.
I bet.
Until that bus came. And then everybody tried to tip it over.
That's the story.
That was a bad time. Probably seemed like fun in the moment, but not good for those people on the bus, and kind of weird, 10 years later now. Let's Plaquette says, I plead the fifth on anything anyone saw me do that day.
If you saw me that day, no, you didn't.
No, you didn't. All right. We got the polls. We'll tell you what to watch. Coming up next on 1620 The Zone.
You made me do this. This is on you, producer Josh.
The Connor Happer Show on 1620 The Zone.
News Talk 1290 Coil is your radio home for the 8-time league champion Omaha Storm Chasers, a proud AAA affiliate of the Kansas City Royals since 1969. Tune in for every pitch of the 2025 Storm Chasers season at Warner Park and across the International League with the voice of the Omaha Storm Chasers, Nick Batters, on News Talk 1290 Coil.
The Storm Chasers are in Indianapolis.
All right, credit where credit is due. Congratulations to the tiny baby boys from Sioux Falls. They're headed to Williamsport for the Little League World Series.
I guess.
I guess. By the way, remember Troy Dannen mentioned today that there's going to be a bajillion Husker fans at the game in Kansas City in less than 3 weeks
I've
now.
heard this.
And we want you to be one of them, or two of them, I should say. Powered by Bankers Trust. Experience the Bankers Trust difference today. Head online at 1620thezone.com for our contest that'll get you 2 tickets to the game, parking, lodging near the stadium, and a $100 gift card to see the Huskers play against Cincinnati for their home game 3 weeks from yesterday. Once again, that's powered by Bankers Trust. Experience the Bankers Trust difference today. To the polls, Josh at Happer Show on the J-Tech Construction Zone Twitter feed. We got a few of them up for you today.
Was there one in the crossover yesterday?
Let's
go
back. Was it the 20? No.
Have you ever flicked someone up?
Have you ever? Oh, I went back like multiple days ago. I pull it.
No, you can do those too.
Wait, what is this?
What is what?
I don't think my Twitter page is working. Because I got tweets from a few days ago. Have you ever flicked someone up? I apparently did. Yes.
Wow.
77% though said no, which makes a lot of sense. Just a couple from today. Has Baby Ruth, the candy bar, fallen off? Yeah, it has. It has.
It's still great.
It's still great.
You gotta find it.
Its popularity has fallen off.
Yeah.
59% say yes. Is Baby Ruth the Stanley Tucci of the candy bar world? No.
This is a real heads tails scenario right now, Connor.
Yeah.
Your vote.
He's just not.
Your vote counts.
Stanley Tucci is better than Baby Ruth.
Yeah.
52% say no. Let's go. Does Matt Rule's Starbucks order have more than 4 words in it? That's a good one.
I think so.
59% say yes.
How do you think he handles milk? Like, we didn't get into that.
He might have a little gut problem. Would it surprise you if he was like, yeah, I got some gut stuff?
Well, my wife buys it. I don't know what the hell it is. I don't know what that crap
Almond,
is.
soy, whatever. Is revenue the word of the summer? I think it was.
Yeah.
67% say yes. Those are the poll questions. Josh, what are we watching tonight?
We are watching baseball on our TVs all weekend long. Of course, the Friday weird not doubleheader, but 2 games are on at the same time on Apple. Reds Pirates at 5:40. Astros Yankees from the Bronx at 6. Big weekend for Cubs Cardinals. It'll be on Big Fox tomorrow night and Sunday Night Baseball on ESPN this weekend. And Royals Twins from the Great White North, your Roku game of the week. Sunday at noon.
Josh, maybe, we were just talking about how we don't have anything to do this weekend. Maybe I should just drive up I-35.
Straight shot.
Check out my
Take it all the way
guys.
there,
I love Target Field, and nobody wants to go to their games anymore because they have minor league.
Plenty of good seats still available.
And I could say hello to Alan Roden.
There you go.
Ryan Fitzgerald.
Sounds like you got a nice little weekend planned for yourself.
Hmm.
Week 1 of the NFL preseason continues. 6:00 tonight on NFL Network. It's Browns-Panthers with Shadur Sanders starting for the Cleveland Browns.
Okay, low key though, like this is his shot.
You only get one shot.
Yeah, this is literally it for him.
If it goes bad, it's over.
He's done. Yeah.
If it goes okay or goes well,
he'll kick the can down the road.
Exactly.
A little bit. Yeah.
Giants Bills noon tomorrow on NFL Network, followed by Texans Vikings and then Jets Packers. So you got a triple header on NFL Network tomorrow. Doubleheader on Sunday noon and 3:00. Dolphins Bears and then Saints Chargers rounds out your weekend. Little League Softball World Series bracket championships tomorrow, and then the World Championship 2:00 Sunday afternoon on ABC. WNBA, Chicago is in Indiana to take on the Fever. 7:00 on CBS. Don't do it, okay?
What are we at, 4 now?
Yes, network television, prime time, Saturday night. Don't do it.
I'm going to take the over.
And then 11:30 a.m. Sunday on ABC, the 2 best teams in the WNBA take each other on in New York as the Liberty hosts the Lynx. And then, Connor, as we get out of here, I think there's 5 movies that are canon to the Connor Happer show.
Mm-hmm.
4 of them are on television this weekend.
Give them to me.
Tommy Boy, 5:30 Saturday on CMT.
Oh, yeah.
Con Air, 6:00 tomorrow night on FXX. A movie you refuse to watch, Predator, is on IFC, which is unedited, 7:00 tomorrow night. True TV Sunday night, 6:30. Dumb and Dumber.
Wow.
The Town is on Showtime this weekend, but not a lot of people have Showtime, so I didn't include it. But it is on television.
That might be all 5 of them.
That would be the 5th.
Josh, what a great what to watch tonight.
That's right. Thank you.
That's it for us today. And if you missed anything, 1620thezone.com is where you can find it. Crossover is coming up next.